So a lot of things that, as teammates you go through and you share with one another that the public never knows about. But this particular one is one that I'm happy for Donnie. I'm glad that I felt comfortable enough to take him under my wings and talk to him. And, he was a guy who, like all of us, and I think that's what made us all who we are. We wanted something out of life, and we didn't want to be second. We wanted to be the best, and we wanted to be first at what we were doing.
Yeah. And we got to thank Bill Nunn for finding the likes of Donnie Shell, John Stallworth, L.C. Greenwood. I'm going to be running out of time here, the accomplishments of Bill Nunn, but you know what? All those accomplishments, he'll be honored, so that's going to be a great time with all the Steelers and even, a couple Dallas Cowboys you're familiar with. So, you know what I miss, Mel? We probably won't see the locker room for a while because of restrictions and that, and I'm sure all the coaches are happy that the media's not always around. I always enjoyed when you walked into that locker room, okay, with your 10-gallon hat. You're still chiseled. You still could play. And all these young'uns are looking up saying, wow, that's Mel Blount. Is that really Mel Blount? And I would say, yeah, and he can still play. But the look on these young guys' eyes when they would see you walking in, I loved it. Eddie Bouchette and I would just like, all of us would stand still and watch the show,
Well, I was the same way when I was, I'll never forget, and this guy played basketball with Dr. J. He used to come into our locker room.
Wow.
And when kids, they see you on television or they watch your career and all of a sudden they get a chance to see you in person. But, hey, even today, guys will tell me, man, how did you play cornerback as big as you are? Which I take as a compliment,
Yeah. And you had some great battles with what, Cliff Branch? And who was
everybody, man.
Yeah, who was the Cleveland Brown wideout? You and him used to go at it. Paul Warfield.
Reggie Rucker was one.
Paul Warfield?
Warfield, what's the... Dwight Clark, not Dwight. Dwight Clark was with the 49ers, but the other big wide receiver, I think. But anyway, look, when we lined up on Sunday, there was no easy outs. Everybody was pros, and they could eat your lunch if you wasn't on top of your game. So, But Cliff Branch was, God bless his soul and may he rest in peace. But he was just. He was kind of like Antonio Brown was a couple of years back. He was explosive, fast, and he was a challenge.
All right. Last question. What was the better rivalry that you enjoyed playing in and look forward to? The Oilers rivalry or the Raiders rivalry?
Well, I think the Raiders, just because the style of play and they always thought that they were as good or better than us. It was always, we knew that it was going to be a battle when we played them.
Yeah, especially in Oakland when Gene Upshaw and Mr. Shell would have Vaseline on their jerseys, huh? Or Fred Biletnikoff with the stickum.
Yeah. But the thing about them, they threw the ball a lot. They threw it deep. They had a good offensive line in Upshaw and Shell, and Stabler was a better quarterback than people really realized.
You're right.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good player.
He was good for the media, too. Hey, Mel, I know you're busy. You're going to be on your way to Canton very soon. Enjoy your week up there or weekend with all the Steeler Nation fans and, of course, all members of the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the Hall of Fame. You're a Hall of Famer, and make sure you say hello to Donnie Shell for me.
I will, Bill. Thanks a lot. It's good talking with you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, then. Bye.
One of the all-time great Steelers. Always media-friendly, even after tough losses. And a few guys would hide back then, too. They were embarrassed that they lost because they always felt unbeatable, Even the best can lose, But those were great rivalries, Great rivalries. Cliff Branch, Mel Blount. Paul Warfield, Mel Blount. Oh, boy. The Raiders, the Oilers. I got to see all that and be a part of it. Small part of it, being a reporter. Okay, I got to report this. We're going to take a break. We're going to go from football to hockey. Eddie Johnson, goaltender with the Bruins, 2 Stanley Cup rings. I think he's got 3 or 4 with the Penguins, and now he's a consultant. Yeah, at about 90 years old, he's still working for the Penguins. He's our guest next on The Variety Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State police are investigating an incident from this morning in Fayette County that left a suspect hospitalized with a gunshot wound. Authorities indicate a Fayette County deputy had tried a traffic stop around 2:30 on Davis Street in Fayetteville this morning. The driver took off, but at some point stopped and got into an altercation with the deputy, who ended up shooting him. The driver is in surgery. A contentious meeting of the Kanawha County Board of Education last night, resulting in a split decision on masks for the coming school year. The school board passed a measure that would require masking for students, faculty, and staff in grades PK through 5, but it will be optional in grades 6 through 12. Board member Ryan White was advocating it for all students.
I think people are making too much of a big deal of masks. Masks work, and they don't interfere with the ability for students to learn. So I think it's a simple thing to do.
And the first day of school in Kanawha County is Monday. Governor Jim Justice at this point is not mandating masks again, but certainly is recommending them, particularly if you're in a position to be exposed, even if you've been vaccinated.
If you're that and over 65, you may want to consider, and it's your choice. It's your choice wholeheartedly. Even if you've been vaccinated, you surely may want to consider, if you're in a large crowd or large gathering, you may want to think about wearing a mask.
And the governor also encouraging more West Virginians to get fully vaccinated. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The longtime president and CEO of West Virginia Radio Corporation, the parent company of Metro News, has announced his retirement. Dale Miller announced that retirement in an email to staff Monday, culminating 44 years at the helm of the company that consisted of WAJR AM and FM in Morgantown when he began in 1977. Miller grew the company into 30 radio stations in West Virginia and Maryland for Metro News and built the company's Pikewood media arm during his tenure. Read more at WVMetroNews.com. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame wraps up the greatest enshrinement week ever with the concert event of the summer. When Brad Paisley and Leonard Skinner headline the Concert for Legends, Monday, August 9th at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. Tickets for this one-of-a-kind concert experience are on sale now at ProFootballHof.com. Brad Paisley, I'm gonna miss her. Leonard Skinner sharing the stage for the first time ever in Canton, Monday, August 9th. Get your tickets at ProFootballHof.com.
First Fridays are returning to Center Market in Wheeling this August 6th. Join us for the street party featuring Eli and the Mojo Kings performing at 8 p.m. Before the show, you can visit Center Market specialty shops and have dinner at one of our quality eateries. Meet, shop, eat, and then party with Eli and the Mojo Kings on First Friday, August 6th at the iconic Center Market in Wheeling. Sponsored by Main Street Bank, Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the City of
Are
Wheeling.
you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Way back when, I think I was about 22. First or second year with Boston, I had a chance as a college assistant to work with a lot of the teams. And my brief time with the Bruins, I remember the Cashmans, Wayne Cashmans, the Chief, I forgot his name, Johnny Busick, some guy who I agree with, I think it was, hold on 1 second. Coach, I'll call you back.
Okay.
No, not you, Coach. Dick LeBeau was calling me from the golf course.
He's probably on the golf course.
No, he golfs morning till night, every day. 7 days a week, he's always on the golf course. I've left him a ton of messages. Dick, you can call me from the golf course. And he just did. So sorry about that interruption. I'm going over Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito. Who was the head coach, Harry Sinden? Yep. Now, you were part of both of those Bruins Stanley Cups in 70 and 72, right?
That's right. And I finished the second one. I was 6-1 with a 150 average.
Wow.
I'm one of the 5 goalkeepers that won 4 in a row.
Wow. I never knew that. I thought I knew everything about you, EJ. Now with the Penguins, how many Stanley Cup rings they give you? Because you were GM, head coach, consultant. How many rings?
I got 3. I got a total of 5 now.
Okay, all right. I've seen those rings from the 70 and 72 teams. Compared to today rings, they look like rings out of a bubblegum machine. They're too fancy today. I don't know how the players can wear these rings.
I never wear mine. It's too big.
You have it in a vault somewhere?
Yeah, I got them in the bank.
All right. I'll thank you again for doing me a big favor years and years ago. I had this beautiful print of Bobby up in the air. It's a color print. Up in the air, scoring the game winner against St. Louis. And, you got it signed for me, so I'll always be appreciative of that. That's something I will never, ever sell. Even if somebody named Bill comes along, because it says to Billy, my friend, comes along with a lot of money, I don't think, maybe I'll take that to the grave with me. But I'm appreciative of that. And I know you've been in touch with Bobby. hopefully later we can get who I think. And Joe Gordon of the Steelers, remember him?
Oh, sure, yeah, great guy.
Yesterday we had him on the air talking about Bill Nunn, who used to work for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was like the best scout in all of football. We talked about great hockey players, and he said, without a doubt, Bobby Orr, who changed the game, the greatest of all time. And I'm not going to argue with Joe, and I'm not going to argue with you because I think you'll feel the same way.
Yeah.
Why did he change the game? Because he became an offensive player too?
Yeah. Well, he won a scoring championship. He scored 50 goals.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A defenseman. Yeah.
That's right.
Can you imagine with today's medical updates and hospitals and care, rehab? I think Bobby wouldn't have had all those operations. Would he have 6 knee operations?
Oh, he said at least 5 or 6 of them, and he would have got rehab instead of getting operated on, and back then.
Yeah, that would have. Oh boy, yeah, one of the all-time greats. Certainly, if there's a National Hockey League statues of great ones, he's got to be there with the Gretzkys and that. But he did change the game of hockey. Hey, what the heck's going on with all this movement with goaltenders? I know you're a former goaltender. I've never seen all this movement in the last week or so.
Well, you look at Fleury. I mean, there's a guy that's as good as anybody could be. I mean, he had a phenomenal year, and then they moved him over to Chicago, and I think there's been about 4 or 5 of them. There's been at least 4 or 5 of them have been moved.
Yeah, good guys too. So I don't know. You're probably going to tell me the same thing. Harvey Haddix used to be the pitching coach of the Pirates, and we'd always meet for a hamburger and a milkshake down on Banksville Road at Eaton Park every home game. And he always would tell me, "You don't have enough pitching, Bill. You don't have enough pitching." And I would say, "Well, you got so-and-so, you got so-and-so, you got Katolvi, and no, Bill, you never have enough pitching because somebody may have a sore arm or their elbow's not feeling well. They don't take care of themselves. They don't wear jackets when it's cool in the dugout or whatever. You never have enough pitching." Are you going to tell me you never have enough goaltending?
Well, yeah, I would say, yeah. You should. Every organization has at least 3 or 4, and the guys that are playing in the minors are very, very close to coming up here. So, you got to make sure that you have that.
Tristan Jarry took what I thought was unfair criticism from the media, but even the media has changed since you played and I covered the team in the 70s. If you took him aside, what would you tell him? Because it's probably still in his head about the poor performance he had against the Islanders. Probably everywhere he goes to the grocery store, they remind him of that. If you took the youngster aside, what would you tell him?
Well, he was hurting it a little bit just prior to the playoffs starting. And I guess they kept it quiet a little bit because you don't want to.
No, you don't want to tell people like me.
No, and then the other guy, and then the other kid, Smith, he couldn't play. So I mean, but for us to get in the position where we got and to finish in first place, Jerry was terrific. He had a terrific year, and he's only 26 years old, so 27 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just. He's like a baby coming in there, but I'm glad they didn't move him in that because I just think that he'll be as good as everybody else in the league this year again.
Oh yeah. I was hoping, and you can disagree with me. I hope you agree with me. I was hoping maybe the Penguins could get Fleury back because I think that would be good for the goaltending team. Fleury, and then Jarry. What do you think?
Well, he's such a great goalkeeper, Fleury, and he did a hell of a job with Murray. Look with Murray, what he did with Murray. And Murray loved him. He said he was like a big brother. He worked with him a lot. He talked to him about the teams to play against, but it depends what they wanted. If they were trying to get him, I'm sure they were looking for a pretty big number off of one of our top players. So.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I remember, I thought in the early 70s you guys would win 4 or 5 Stanley Cups. But there was that guy from Canada, from Montreal. What was his name? Put a stop to you. Was it 73?
Right.
Right, yeah. He was pretty good in 71 too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And then years later there was another goaltender.
Patrick Roy?
Yeah, those 2 guys. I was hoping they would get colds or something and couldn't play, but they were so good. And then, if you didn't have Wayne Gretzky and those 5 Hall of Famers alongside of him, you might have won a couple of cups in the 80s, but it was all Edmonton, In the 70s, it was Montreal and those Philadelphia Flyers. I still see, what was her name? She would sing God Bless America.
In Philly, yeah.
Lola, what was her name? God Bless America.
Yeah. I'll think of it. But, don't forget the Bruins, we lost Kerry Cheevers, and we also lost Eric Sanderson. We lost a couple of guys to the World Hockey.
Yeah. Kate Smith. Kate Smith sang the Star Spangled Banner in Philadelphia, and it upset me when Phil Esposito and Bobby Orr, tapped her on the shoulder after she did a performance. You don't do that. It's like today I get mad when baseball players talk to each other. Guy gets a base hit, and he's talking to the opposing team's first baseman. They're laughing, talking. You never had that back then. You didn't see players, talking to each other and everything. They wanted to beat you up. Maybe afterwards in hockey you go have a beer with them. But, I didn't like that. And then the Flyers went on to win.
When I came in the league in 1962, you never associated with the other team ever.
Yeah.
And now, because guys get traded and they meet each other, they go to the guy's house when they play them the next night and all that stuff. But years ago, there was like a rule that you never associated with the guys.
Were the Broad Street Bullies bigger and badder than the Big Bad Bruins back then?
I don't know. We had Wayne Cashman and those guys. They were pretty mean.
Yeah, but nobody could beat up on David Schultz when he was young. He came to Pittsburgh and he couldn't punch out a balloon.
Well, back then, Philly with one guy was fighting, the other guy would jump in, and it was a little different situation then.
Yep. I also thought your Bruins, my Bruins, would do well when a guy named Brad Park, I think he played a total of 11 games with Bobby Orr. That was a great 1-2 punch. It didn't last very long because I think Bobby got hurt again.
Yeah, but those two guys were two tops in the league right there.
Yeah, that's great.
Park and Orr.
Yeah, I've seen your rookie card. I gave you a card with Boston Bruins. You guys back then, you didn't have a whole lot of protection. You didn't really wear a helmet. Your pads were about as thin as my socks, but yet you got along.
Well, we got hurt. I had ended up with 5 broken noses. I was in a coma for 6 weeks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had my injured collarbone and a few bumps and bruises. But like I say, I always tell people there was 6 goalkeepers back then. We all know we're number 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we didn't wear a mask. That was our IQ.
Is the game much better today than perhaps the 70s because of speed and, these guys, they lift weights and everything and they're in great shape? Is the game better today than when you and I remember the 70s?
I wouldn't say it's better, but it's a speed game. When he took the red line out, it became a speed game,
Yeah.
A lot more room, you didn't have to worry about making that 2-line pass net. Yeah. Now you can throw it all the way to the far blue line, to their far blue line. So the speed has really picked it up.
I remember when Phil Esposito led, was it the United States team beating up on Russia?
Yeah, I was on that team.
I didn't know that. I've learned 2 things from you today. Who was the other goaltender?
Tony Esposito.
Oh, yeah.
And Kenny Dryden. There was 3 of us.
Wow, that's a hell of a trio. And I remember when Phil used to beat up on Tony when they faced each other. It seems like Phil had, really big advantage against his brother in the nets. That was cool times, too. But you beat the Russians because, we didn't like those Russian hockey players. And now there are probably as many Russian hockey players as Canadian hockey players and U.S. players. Times have changed. The rivalries are not what they used to be. And, it's changed. I think it's for the better. I enjoy watching hockey because you don't have 15,000 commercials. You don't have 5,000 timeouts. And it's a good game. It's a good game. So, it's just great. All right, EJ, you still with the team as a consultant?
Yeah. I got to give a little plug. My son's coming up with 3 ice, which is going to be, he's going to be, 3-on-3 ice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
big, and he's got NBC, he's got ESPN, he's got European.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got six. All the coaches are all Hall of Fame guys.
All right. When's this going to take place?
Well, camp's going to start next year.
Okay. All right. That's going to be good. All right. Well, maybe the Penguins will win another cup and you'll have 6 rings.
I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy that introduced the Penguins' #1 pick in 1984, Mario Lemieux. I remember that too, EJ. I would have screwed that up. I'd have been so nervous.
Well, I had some great offers, but I told Mr. DeBartolo that a guy like Mario comes along once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Same with Sid Crosby, right?
Yep.
All right, EJ, I know where you live. You're only a few miles away from me. Let's have lunch sometimes or late dinner, okay?
All right, not a problem, Billy. Thank you.
Thank you, EJ. Eddie Johnson, cool guy. I remember him. And he looks so good now. He's got a full head of hair. He's in pretty good shape. And he's going to be 90. Oh, boy. Well, let's take a quick break. I'm going to try and get Dick LeBeau off the golf course to talk to us a little bit, okay? Let's take a break. Dick LeBeau, who's going to be the guy that's going to introduce Troy Polamalu. We heard from Troy yesterday. Hopefully we'll hear from Dick today or maybe on Thursday. We do it all for you, okay?
The Pro Football Hall of Fame wraps up the greatest enshrinement week ever with the concert event of the summer. When Brad Paisley and Leonard Skinner headline the Concert for Legends, Monday, August 9th at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. Tickets for this one-of-a-kind concert experience are on sale now at ProFootballHof.com. Brad Paisley, I'm gonna miss her. Leonard Skinner, sharing the stage for the first time ever in Canton, Monday, August 9th. Get your tickets at ProFootballHof.com.
First Fridays are returning to Center Market in Wheeling this August 6th. Join us for the street party featuring Eli and the Mojo Kings performing at 8 p.m. Before the show, you can visit Center Market specialty shops and have dinner at one of our quality eateries. Meet, shop, eat, and then party with Eli and the Mojo Kings on First Friday, August 6th at the iconic Center Market in Wheeling. Sponsored by Main Street Bank, Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the City of Wheeling.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
This is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe or Talkline. I have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
You know, I do a promo of like Who's Who. We have, it's like, I think somewhere there, I try not to listen to it because I don't like to hear myself, especially in a promotion. You never know who's going to be on. Well, I didn't know I was going to get Dick LeBeau on today. I've been trying to find him for about 4 or 5 days because he's on the golf course from sunrise to sunset, a really good golfer. And that's Sunday through Sunday, he's on the golf course. Well, he just called me. I guess he took a break from the golf course. And I said, I'd like to schedule you in for Thursday, but I have some time at 1 o'clock today. He said, let's do 1 o'clock because he's going to Canton tomorrow, like a lot of the inductees and the people introducing them. So we got Dick LeBeau coming up at 1:10. All right? Wow, it's been a who's who today. Mel Blount, Eddie Johnson, Dick LeBeau. Wow, unbelievable stuff. Wine and cheese coming up. We're going to talk for about an hour for the Wheeling Feeling with our good friend Rose, okay? Wow, what a day. Yeah. That's why, it's fun. It's fun, especially when you get a surprise like Dick LeBeau. One of the all-time great defensive backs, had a great career with Lola's Detroit Lions. I didn't realize it until Joe Gordon said yesterday that Dick LeBeau was cut by the Browns. Paul Brown, you made a big mistake back then. Can you imagine Dick LeBeau on your team back then? You had a good offense with Jimmy Brown. Now having Dick LeBeau work in your backfield? But it was a win-win-win for the Detroit Lions, and a win-win-win when the Pittsburgh Steelers hired him to be defensive coordinator. And I always felt sorry for Dick LeBeau when he was the head coach of the Bengals, who could never really beat the Steelers. But I did know back then if there was ever a job opportunity in Pittsburgh, the Steelers would hire him. And he was a great defensive coordinator. I mean, the players loved this guy. Troy Polamalu used to call him Dad, okay? Because Troy would take him, Dick LeBeau would take him aside, and they say the rest is history. So we have Dick LeBeau talking about his guy that's going to be honored in the Hall of Fame, Troy Polamalu. It doesn't get any better than that. And maybe the Pirates will win tonight. They're due to beat Milwaukee. Milwaukee beat them again last night, 6-2. The Brewers have won 4 in a row, and the struggling Pirates are now 40. That's not 86, is it, Bill? 40-66. Oh. Bad news for Chad Kuhl, a pitcher for the Pirates, and the closer for the Brewers, Josh Hader. Both of them will be out for a period of time, both on the COVID-19 injured list. Both tested positive. And former Pirate, I learned this last night, Garrett Cole was scheduled to pitch tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. Ain't going to happen. He was tested positive for COVID-19. All right, and just a few days ago, Troy Polamalu tested for COVID-19. And Jerome Bettis, the former Hall of Famer, former Steeler Hall of Famer, he just tested positive for the virus. Oh, here we go again. We'll be right back to one of the great defensive backs of all time, played very well in the 60s and early 70s, a great coach with the Steelers. He'll be introducing a Steeler inductee at Canton by the name of Troy Polamalu. Dick LeBeau coming up next after the news. You just keep it on the watchdog, you hear me?
Sometimes you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead, you're calling to me.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to respond to the report just released by New York's top law enforcer.
New York Attorney General Tish James said Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, including 9 current or former state employees. A 4-month investigation found non-consensual touching and suggestive comments that James said contributed to a toxic work environment. She called it conduct that corrodes the very fabric of state government. Aaron Katursky, ABC News at the Attorney General's office in New York.
A first-in-the-nation announcement from New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. Starting in mid-September, proof of vaccination is required for anyone entering an indoor facility. That includes customers and staff at restaurants, bars, and gyms.
The goal here is to convince everyone that this is the time. If we're going to stop the Delta variant, the time is now. And that means getting vaccinated right now.
And Governor Cuomo is speaking right now from the state capitol.
If you are interested, please take the time to read the facts and decide for yourself. First, I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am, and that's not who I have ever been. There is one complaint that has been made that bothered me most.
Governor Andrew Cuomo speaking live from the state capitol. The Senate just unanimously approved a House-passed bill that awards the Congressional Gold Medal to all Capitol Police members in D.C. Metro Police for their roles in defending the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey there, it's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with an inside track on a company that could save your family over $800 a year on a basic service everyone needs, H2O Wireless. If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, H2O Wireless gives you the exact same coverage as one of those, but at half the price. That's right, H2O Wireless uses the same network, same towers. You can even keep your phone and number because switching is as easy as swapping a SIM card. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. And if you want a new phone, H2O Wireless has huge savings on the latest iPhones and Androids. Here's what you need to do. Pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. When you do, you'll save 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O, and your family could start saving over $800 a year today.
And Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York, still responding to the report by the state attorney general finding that he broke federal and state laws by sexually harassing several women. He is speaking now live in Albany, and let's go back to that briefly.
I watched her live and suffer with the trauma.
He's talking about one of the alleged victims.
To make it go away for her. But it never really goes away. I spent countless days and nights working through these issues with her and therapists and counselors. I'm governor of the state of New York, but I felt powerless to help and felt that I had failed her. I couldn't take the pain away. I still can't. And this young woman brought it all back. She is about the same age. I thought I had learned a lot about the issue from my family's experience. I thought I could help her work through a difficult time.
Governor Andrew Cuomo speaking live from Albany. Meat processor Tyson Foods saying it will require all U.S. employees to get COVID shots. The U.S. is stepping up airstrikes against Taliban positions in Afghanistan as Taliban attacks on Afghani cities has stepped up as American troops have been withdrawing. This is ABC News.
At CDW, we get that a cyborg assistant won't make your employees more productive from home.
Please, call me Brian. I can vacuum your dog.
That's great. But at CDW, we can design a productivity solution with Lenovo devices that offer fast, reliable connectivity to help your people manage their workloads the right way.
Can I have a human hug?
No. For technology that moves you forward, trust Lenovo and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
The CDC says 18 counties in Ohio are experiencing high community spread of the coronavirus. Monica Robbins with affiliate station WKYC-TV in Cleveland has more.
I spoke with Mark Adams, the Deputy Health Commissioner for Lorain County, who told me hospitalization rates are still pretty low. That said, 99% of those getting hospitalized are unvaccinated. So that's who's most at risk.
Vaccinated person to transmit to another vaccinated person, the chances would be winning the lottery, you'd have a better shot at that, or even getting struck by lightning. But the unvaccinated person places themselves at risk. And while they have the chance to do that, if that's what they want to do, it's just not smart.
I'm Monica Robbins.
And a pair of special congressional primaries in Ohio could tell the temperature of Republicans and Democrats heading into next year's midterm elections. ONN's Dave James explains.
After his endorsed Texas congressional candidate lost last week, former President Donald Trump's sway as a Republican kingmaker is being tested today in Central Ohio's 15th congressional district. He's endorsed coal lobbyist Mike Carey, while ex-Congressman Steve Stivers has endorsed State Representative Jeff Lair. Meanwhile, in the Cleveland area 11th Congressional District, former state Senator Nina Turner, a national voice for Bernie Sanders, and centrist Cuyahoga County Councilwoman Chantel Brown are battling for position in the crowded Democratic primary. Dave James, ONN News.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Partly sunny skies with a chance of a shower or storm through the afternoon. A daytime high of 82. Partly cloudy overnight, 63 for the low. A mix of clouds and sunshine for your Wednesday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Well, after I take care of the homeless, the hunger problems, the job problems in this world, problems with people not getting along with people, I would change the world and go back a few years to when Dick LeBeau was defensive coordinator of Pittsburgh Steelers, because those defensive teams, they were good students, they listened to Dick, and he had some great players too. He'll tell you that, because he's not the kind of guy to take credit for anything. But, you know, the first year of the Twilight Zone was like 1959. You remember the Twilight Zone, don't you, Dick?
Yeah.
Well,
I spent my whole life in it, Billy.
That's a good one. You're still calling me Billy. Okay, Coach. But that was the first year of the Twilight Zone. It was also the year 1959. He was drafted in, the fifth round, number 58 overall by Paul Brown and the Cleveland Browns. They cut you. Of course, that was good news for the Detroit Lions. Why did you get released, Dick?
Well, I have a pat answer for all of that. In 1959, there were 12 teams in the National Football League, and the roster, the total roster of each team was 30 players. They raised it up to 31 shortly thereafter. So on every team, there was a total of 5 defensive backs. And it came down to the last day of the preseason, and I didn't make one of those 5 numbers, which probably in the long run turned out to be a good thing for me. It taught me that things don't always go your way. And, you know, it was the first time ever athletically, Bill, that I'd ever went to try to do something, and that included my high school and Ohio State football. They have a fairly decent program.
Yeah.
No one ever said to me, "We don't want you." And Cleveland said, "You didn't make it." So I had to face a new set of circumstances. Not everybody in the world wants you. So I had to get back on my bicycle and see if I could find a job somewhere.
Wow.
And it worked, but it worked out. I played 14 years in the National Football League, and then I coached 45. So I've got, not quite 60 years in the National Football League. That's decent.
Yeah, I think I showed you. I have, I'm a clutter freak when it comes to books and records and stuff. I have the program. I think Mr. Rooney gave it to me, Mr. Rooney Sr. He gave me a lot of books. He gave me the the runner-up bowl that you played in '62 against the Steelers. Mr. Rooney said, we lost a lot of money because we took 2 planefuls of employees. And I think the winning team, the Lions, who beat the Steelers in '62, and you were part of that team, you got what, $750 for winning?
I think that might have been the losing team's share. I don't know.
Maybe you got 15, but it was played in an Orange Bowl where there was like 25,000 empty seats.
Yeah, well, it was only, 7,500 might have been for the losing team, and then a whole whopping $1,000 for the winner. Yeah. But see, Bill, that game. There's an interesting historical circumstance there. The league had been toying around and working around and arbitrating back and forth with the players on establishing a players' union and a players' association. And as they agreed to various stages of that discussion, funding of such had to be worked out. So those games, I think we played, there was 3 years. What it was, again, there were only 12 teams, you have to remember. So
yeah, that's true.
Six in each division. And at the end of the year, the first place team in the East played the first place team in the West, and that was the world champion. Yep. And everybody else got split up a bit of revenue for where they finished in the league. But, there weren't any Super Bowls. There weren't any playoff games. I think my first year we had 12 regular season games, and then it went to 14 and then 16, and what they're going to 17 now. But the first money that funded the Players Association came from those runner-up bowls. So it was the teams that finished second now, and there were 2 6-team divisions. They played that game. They only had it for 3 years, and we finished second to Green Bay every one of those years. With some pretty daggone good records. One year, we were 11-3, and we went down to Florida and beat somebody. We won all 3. We played the Steelers, the Cardinals, and I don't even remember who we played the other game. But we were the champions of, we called it the Toilet Bowl.
Are you, I can't say it, kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
No, hey, and I hated your Lions because a couple of times you beat my Packers. I have stock with Green Bay, by the way, so I own a piece of the action, and I have a piece of Lombardi Field. Tunchokin took me down to the place where Bart Starr went in against the Cowboys, and I grabbed some dirt. It is now turned blue and yellow, I think, but I put it in a baggie, stuck it in my pocket. I did crazy things back then, but
Oh,
you know.
that's a cool keepsake, though,
Yeah,
because in Green Bay, the whole during the development process of the National Football League, they were running out of money several different times, and the people of the town actually owned the stock
Yeah.
to the team. You'd be going through the grocery store as a player, and somebody'd say, "I own part of the team. Get your butt playing."
And didn't you intercept my guy Bart Starr a couple times?
Well, actually, I always like to talk about this. I have 62 total interceptions, which is not bad for an older fella. But my largest number of picks came against Bart and Johnny Unitas, another fairly decent quarterback.
Oh yeah.
But we played them twice a year. They were in our conference.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere in those statistics that say how many times they burnt me for touchdowns. So I don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, you're too much. Hey, what was it like playing with Bobby Lane? You played with Bobby Lane before he went to Pittsburgh?
I just missed Bobby. His last year was my senior year in college, but I played with all of his teammates.
Yeah.
And Bobby would come back periodically to visit his teammates.
You mean to have a beer or two?
But to visit, yeah.
What was it like playing with Alex Karras?
Alex was, you knew he was going to be a movie star when he got done, and probably work in comedy because he was always kind of the center of attraction and a very witty, funny guy, and a heck of a football player. So, and I'm glad to see that he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. By the way, say hello to the president of the Detroit Lions fan club in the Ohio Valley, Lola. Big-time Lions fan, Tigers fan, poor girl. And, she loves those Detroit teams. Michigan, she probably don't like the fact you went to Ohio State, but she'll get over it. So say hello to her, because she still likes her Lions.
Well, you know what they say in damn Yankees, Lola. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets.
Oh, Dick, why did you say that?
Thank you,
How are
Coach.
you, Lola?
Thank you.
Well, thank you for supporting the Lions and your Detroit sports teams.
I can tell you, you can take the girl out of Michigan, but you can't take the Michigan out of the girl.
Oh, I've found that many times to be oh so true.
You went to Ohio State, and there was a great Ohio State connection here with the late John Havlicek. Did you know Hondo at all?
Oh, yeah. Played basketball with him a lot. Him and Bobby Knight and Jerry Lucas. That was probably, in my opinion, the best college basketball team that Ohio State has ever fielded, and maybe as good as anybody ever fielded.
Yeah, wow. And Havlicek grew up like in almost the same neighborhood with Joe and Phil Negro and some guy named Mazeroski. So a lot of great athletes out of the Ohio Valley. Okay, let's talk.
They were down there. They were down there on the river, and a good buddy of mine that played for us at Ohio State, and went on to be an executive with the Rams. I think he played in the NFL for several years. Bill Jobco. Okay. He was also. And that was maybe Barnesville, something like that, right there at the river, right across, close to Wheeling, is where they all came out of that valley. Go ahead. I know you got it.
Let's talk about your guy. I should call you Dad, too, but I'm not going to. I'm going to call you Coach. Good guy. But Troy Polamalu calls you Dad. He still calls you Dad. I think we had an interview with him yesterday, and he said something about Dad. You coached a good one. But you know what? For every good coach who might take some credit, and you won't because you're so darn humble, Troy Polamalu had a lot of talent, but you helped fine-tune that talent. When he first came into camp, I think we all knew this guy's going to be a keeper. Did you know that too?
Well, they drafted Troy the year before I came back to Pittsburgh, and he was starting into his second year when I got there. And his first year, he played some, but hadn't played a whole lot. They had traded up to get Troy. Mm-hmm. But first time I stepped on the field with him to work with the guys, he had a very, very special athletic talent, and I didn't know the tremendous size of heart and competitive spirit that he had at that time. Of course, you only see that when you become battle tested. But Troy checked all the boxes. He's definitely one of the greatest football players that ever played in the United States of America.
Wow. Best safety of all time or top three? How about that? I'll put you on the spot. Top three of all time?
Well, when you're talking to me, you're going to get the best of all time, but I don't know who would be better. He's as good as any that ever played ever. Now, I got to coach a man that you will know by the name of Carnell Lake.
Oh, yeah.
He was a pretty daggone good safety too. And then a fella that ended up playing safety his last few years was Rod Woodson. Yeah. So I got to coach both of those guys. They were in one of my secondaries up there, in fact, for several years. And they made me real smart too, as did Troy.
Wait a minute, there was a pretty good guy in Baltimore, ward number 20, Mr. Reed, right?
Yeah, that's a discussion that's most common, I think. But
yeah.
If you're asking me, I'm taking Troy because Troy was a great blitzer, he played the same as a linebacker in our third down package for several years. I mean, Troy could do everything. Reed's a great player, but in terms of versatile skill, I have to go with Troy in that one.
Yeah, and when it comes to commercials, nothing tops Joe Green in that Coca-Cola commercial from the 70s, you know? Here, kid.
Yeah,
I like the Head and Shoulders with Troy.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a great commercial, but I think Troy's, he's still doing it. He came out they got another one out this year I saw the other day, but I love those commercials. Yeah. He's got his hair, and Troy's hair was his calling card. So
yeah.
It's pretty partial to those of us that benefited from his skills.
You know how I got to know him? And he wasn't that media friendly because he was quiet and shy. I'm walking out of the cafeteria in Latrobe, okay? It was real hot. And we got to take food back to the room. So I had like 2 or 3 bags of fruit and everything. And I get a tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, it's Troy. So Ed Bouchette and all the other guys were wondering, does DeFabio have a scoop? Troy Polamalu was talking to DeFabio. Because after Troy walked away, everybody, what'd he say? Nothing. He said, is it true that you and Chuck Knoll exchanged wine labels for a number of years? I goes, yes. I used to sit on the plane with Chuck. We talk about Australian wine, wine from Greece, Italy. We exchanged labels. And he said, would you teach me like wine 101? And for about 3 or 4 years, we exchanged wines. I learned a lot from him. He learned a lot from me. Every time I would go to his locker, people would say, DeFabio's scooping us on something. No, we were talking wines. And then when he started to have kids, that conversation went south. But, he was very friendly with the media. He didn't say much. He didn't have to because he said his say on the playing field. He's one of my all-time greats.
As they say, he spoke volumes on the playing field.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing about Chuck Knoll. When you would get in a conversation with Chuck, he would talk about a lot of things, and usually it wasn't football.
No, and we all knew that, too. I knew that. The one thing, if you ask him about the offensive line, he would change moods, end the conversation. I used to sit on the plane with him, Coach. He would tell me how the plane was built.
Oh, yeah.
And if I beat him out on a label, because we used to guess what label, he would come back and he said, by the way, I did some research on that wine from Australia, and I'm there, oh, my God. But that was Chuck. That was Chuck. And I'll never forget, I think it was Super Bowl 13 when we were allowed to go up and down the aisleway. And, I used to sit with the co-pilot. Good thing I didn't take over the plane. But, then I would sit with Chuck, and he would tell me how the 727 or whatever was built. And that was a conversation on our way to Miami.
Yeah, Chuck liked to fly himself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, I enjoyed Chuck, but I knew never to ask him anything about the football team, even on those Monday afternoon sessions that were short because he didn't say very much. Well, you're facing a good Cleveland Brown defensive secondary. Yes, they're very good. That was it. That was Chuck. You know that. Before we say goodbye and thank you, you're not on the golf course, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I was surprised because our buddy Bill said you can get him on the golf course sunrise to sunset 7 days a week. And I said, okay, he can call from the golf course. Give me one interesting or cool story about Troy Polamalu, whether it be in a game or a practice. Come on, Coach.
Well, not wanting to be redundant, but one of my Well, favorite stories about Troy. We were playing Baltimore in the
AFC
game
Championship game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That pick.
Off of Flacco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, well, the prelude to that was they had a tight end by the name of Heap, who was a great receiver.
Yes, very good.
And he was having a really good day against us. And we had taken a lead, and they had kind of balanced it out. And, in fact, it closed up to within 2 points. And there were only about 5 minutes to go in the game. And they were controlling the flow of the game in the second half. And they stopped us, and we punted the ball back to them, and they had just scored their last possession. So we got them to third down, and I told Troy, I said, look, Heap is providing the fuel for these drives, and we got to get off the field right now. We got to get the offense out there so that they can shrink this game, and we'll win the game. But this is the down we got to get off. And Troy said, gotcha, Coach. I said, I'm putting you in there, and you're going to be on Heap man-to-man. And you cover him wherever he goes. I don't want him catching this daggone ball and keeping the balls, and we got to get off the field. He said, I got you, Coach. I said, well, go. So he goes down on the field, and of course, Baltimore sees Troy coming in the game, and, you know, they got coaches too. So I'm sure they're over there saying that, hey, here comes Troy. He's going to blitz, you know, and Troy had heard him blitzing several times over the years.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
They slow block. They don't even release him for a pass, and his job was to check Troy and pick him up if he blitzed. Well, Troy took one look at Heath setting up the pass block and looking around the line of scrimmage and watching Troy, and he went right to Flacco's eyes, who was turning to throw a slant to their slot receiver who was coming open. And, of course, Flacco never saw Troy, and Troy, with his lateral quickness, just bolted over there and picked that daggone thing up. And I think he ran about 45 yards with it. I remember the run, but I don't remember how far it was. But the funny thing is, he came off the field, and I said, see, Troy, I told you he was going to get the ball, and we laughed.
Yeah, I remember that play. I remember that play.
Well, he improvised, which he was so good at. It was just his instincts. And when he didn't do anything, instead of just sitting there looking at him, he went right to Flacco and followed his eyes and went over and stole that ball. So that's another story of my great coaching. At least once I had him on Heap, who didn't do anything, and let him Troy intercept the ball.
Hey, how about this? You're going to see on that stage two great defensive players. Donnie Shell, Mr. Torpedo, and I like to call him a professor because he was one of the smartest players I ever watched or interviewed, even though the interviews were short and sweet, Troy Polamalu. How about that 1-2 punch on the same stage?
Yeah, and they're two of the best safeties that ever played. If you threw Cornell Lake in them, you'd have the triumvirate there.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank the Browns, the Brown family you're familiar with. Paul Brown got rid of you in Cleveland, and was it his son, or was it Paul or Mike, got rid of you in the Bengals when you were head coach?
Well,
yeah, there you go. Way to go, Cincinnati front office.
Well, that's, the NFL. Yeah. That means not for long. Wherever you are, you're probably going to be somewhere else before it's over with.
Not for long. I like that. I'm going to use that. NFL, not for long. Hey, what can I say? It's always a pleasure. And I may do something stupid and come to Cincinnati and take you out to a restaurant. How's that sound?
And we got a lot of good ones over here.
You sure do. I always enjoyed my trips to Cincinnati.
Take
Coach,
care, Billy.
there's going to be a lot of teardrops this weekend with Steelers, okay? And I know you're going to shed a tear or two, and so will Troy. A pleasure talking to you again. You were one of my favorites. Well, I remember trying to sneak on the bus in Cincinnati, and a security guard said, you can't go in there. And I said, well, Dick LeBeau's in there. And he said, so what? I said, that's my uncle. And he let me come in the bus to say hello to you.
I remember that.
Yeah. You remember that, and so do I. I probably today would got arrested.
Yeah, probably so.
But I got a degree in BS. Hey, thank you very much, Coach. Always a pleasure.
Good luck to you, pal.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say hello to him, and they wouldn't let me on the bus because it was a team bus, and LeBeau was sitting in the first row. He was the head coach of the Bengals, and the security guard, grabbed me. He wouldn't grab me today. Grabbed me, says, "You can't go in there. You're not one of the players or coaches." I said, "That's my uncle sitting there." "Oh, okay, go ahead." Yeah, okay. So I fibbed a little bit, all right? Got to do that every once in a while to get your way. Wow, what a morning. Eddie Johnson, Mel Blount, Dick LeBeau, unexpected. Always expect the unexpected on the variety show. We do a variety of things. Some are good, every once in a while it's bad. Lola, did you like the conversation with the former Lion?
Yeah, I really like Dick LeBeau.
Yeah, I remember him as a player. He was a great player. Thank you, Paul Brown and Mike Brown. You didn't have enough sense to keep the guy, right? But he went to bigger and better things, called the Steel City, all right? Yeah, he was a great coach, too. The players, you could just tell on game day. Watch the sideline. The defensive players just loved the guy. They were good listeners, and he was a good listener, too, because he had some smart guys playing for him. And one of them will be honored this weekend in Canton. That ought to be a great scene, too. Dick LeBeau, Troy Polamalu. Come on, man. Doesn't get any better than that. And I'm going to be watching it on a 55-inch screen. Now, zoom in, zoom out, replay. Yeah. We'll be right back with Wine and Cheese right after this.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. State police are investigating an incident from this morning in Fayette County that left a suspect hospitalized with a gunshot wound. Authorities indicate a Fayette County deputy had tried a traffic stop around 2:30 on Davis Street in Fayetteville this morning. The driver took off, but at some point stopped and got into an altercation with the deputy, who ended up shooting him. The driver is in surgery. A contentious meeting of the Kanawha County Board of Education last night, resulting in a split decision on masks for the coming school year. The school board passed a measure that would require masking for students, faculty, and staff in grades PK through 5, but it will be optional in grades 6 through 12. Board member Ryan White was advocating it for all students.
I think people are making too much of a big deal of masks. Masks work, and they don't interfere with the ability for students to learn. So I think it's a simple thing to do.
And the first day of school in Kanawha County is Monday. Governor Jim Justice at this point is not mandating masks again, but certainly is recommending them, particularly if you're in a position to be exposed, even if you've been vaccinated.
If you're that and over 65, you may want to consider, and it's your choice. It's your choice wholeheartedly. Even if you've been vaccinated, you surely may want to consider, if you're in a large crowd or large gathering, you may want to think about wearing a mask.
And the governor also encouraging more West Virginians to get fully vaccinated. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The longtime president and CEO of West Virginia Radio Corporation, the parent company of Metro News, has announced his retirement. Dale Miller announced that retirement in an email to staff Monday, culminating 44 years at the helm of the company that consisted of WAJR AM and FM in Morgantown when he began in 1977. Miller grew the company into 30 radio stations in West Virginia and Maryland for Metro News and built the company's Pikewood media arm during his tenure. Read more at WVMetroNews.com. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Big NBA free agency news yesterday. The Atlanta Hawks reached a 5-year, $207 million designated rookie maximum extension with star point guard Trae Young. Chris Paul is back with the Phoenix Suns as he signed a new 4-year contract. Major League Baseball, Yankees ace Garrett Cole has tested positive for COVID-19. He will miss his start that was scheduled for today. Manager Aaron Boone said as of now he's the only one. Earlier this month, star slugger Aaron Judge was among 6 Yankees players who tested positive for coronavirus. Colts quarterback Carson Wentz will miss 5 to 12 weeks after having surgery on an injured left foot. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finding your true love is one of life's great adventures. Let Christian Mingle guide you on this journey and join our growing community of practicing singles looking for the one. Life is full of surprises. The one God intends for you might be closer than you think, even at your church. Embrace the adventure that awaits you with Christian Mingle. Visit christianmingle.com/radio today. That's christianmingle.com/radio.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
First Fridays are returning to Center Market in Wheeling this August 6th. Join us for the street party featuring Eli and the Mojo Kings performing at 8 p.m. Before the show, you can visit Center Market specialty shops and have dinner at one of our quality eateries. Meet, shop, eat, and then party with Eli and the Mojo Kings on First Friday, August 6th at the iconic Center Market in Wheeling. Sponsored by Main Street Bank, Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the City of Wheeling.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7 to 10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather. Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10. The Watchdog Morning Show, right here.
The NFL. I like it. Maybe I'll get used to it. Not for long. I won't go there. Okay. I never knew that. We had Dick LeBeau on. You probably don't like him because he went to Ohio State. Played with Bobby Knight, John Havlicek. How about that?
That's pretty
Bradley.
cool.
Didn't he become a senator?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think so.
That was very unexpected. So, but it's been a great day. We're going to top it off with some wine.
All right.
And after you guys leave, we got Rose here for the chili cook-off. And I think this wine is good with chili.
That wine's going to be real good with chili.
So let me, ladies and gentlemen. And who are you? Did you hit some traffic?
Hello. Yes, it's crazy out there.
Where's it crazy? Maine?
Both.
One lane
Maine
is
and
full.
Market. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's crazy.
all right. You didn't miss
It's
anything.
okay. Hopefully they'll be done soon.
You don't get any wine because you've been a bad girl.
Too late, huh?
Go ahead and try it. It's
Yeah,
real
I got to
good.
have some of this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, there it is, folks. Beautiful label. I like how we didn't have this in the 60s, you know? Well, my uncle and I didn't bottle the stuff. We just kept it in jugs for customers at the grocery store. Yeah, this is good. Describe it, will you? Corey?
Yeah, so last week I brought the Quaddy Electra Red in, which was the black and orange Muscat blend. Well, today is the Quaddy Orange Electra Moscato. So this is 100% orange Muscat. You get lots of ripe fruit out of it. I get lots of honey jumping out, apricot. You get that little pineapple, but the pear and the apple really jumps out too.
It's a great combination.
It's delicious, and it's another one. Muscat grape just started as really high sugar content, so there's a lot of richness, a lot of fruit to it, but it just finishes so smooth. It's a good wine here.
You know what I'm going to ask you, Janet? What goes with this wine?
A good fruit salad, and that's exactly what's in your bag. And I brought a Greek salad too.
Did
you?
Any
kind of a salad, I think.
You brought me a Greek salad?
I did.
Yeah.
A grilled chicken.
Excuse me.
I mean, even to marinate your chicken in it before you.
Definitely, I agree.
There you go. Boy,
Put some Parmesan cheese on top. Oh, yeah.
And I think we're getting samples from the chili cook-off. This will go good with chili.
It will.
Yeah.
These sweet Moscatos go great with spicy food, so that'll be
We'll
perfect.
Lola, we'll save some of this for chili, okay?
Cheers.
And if she don't bring chili, we'll pretend eating paper towels. How's that?
Yeah, that's a
It'll
tough
probably go
one
good with paper
sometimes.
towels.
Rose will bring chili. Rose
Will she?
always
Okay.
brings a little bit
Do you
of
know
chili
Rose?
for us to taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Rose.
Yeah, I had to remember who she was. I saw her on TV. I said, I do know her, you know? That's going to be great. Great afternoon with guests, and then we still have, 5-star talent in front of me. That's right, Janet. You and Corey are 5-star talent.
We should be.
Yeah.
We work hard.
You do?
We do.
We do. I was just telling Corey, I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but this COVID, I don't want to swear, this COVID crap, if it comes around, we're going to all be wearing masks again.
I'm afraid so.
Giant Eagle, where the Mrs. D works,
Lowe's.
she wears masks all the time. Now the customers have to wear a mask. I don't know if Kroger's doing the same thing. Or
Not that I'm aware of yet.
Restaurants are doing it. The Golden Arches, I think.
I think a lot of corporations are requiring the employees
Yeah.
to
What
do
about
so.
your employees?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Corey?
Not
Well, you're
until
the
the
only
health
employee there,
inspector
other-
says so. The health department needs to step in there and tell us when.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, or the governor, whichever comes
Oh,
first.
the governor? We still have the same, you still
We
have the
do.
same governor?
Justice.
We still got the same governor in Pennsylvania, so whatever, right? Whatever. So Corey, I didn't ask you the price of this, about $15?
It's $16, so right there
Worth it.
in that range. Yeah, definitely so. Said their orange or their black Muscat's great. Too,
Easy to
but
get?
This isn't super easy to get. This is the first time I've had it probably since February. I know it ran out a little bit after the red did back in December, but yeah, it just came back this past week. I got a case of it on the hand, and I'll probably get a couple more next Thursday too. So
Okay.
we're gonna try to keep it around.
So what's happening? Anything special this weekend or Friday? Is it Good Friday or whatever it is?
This weekend, yeah.
I call it Good Friday because a lot of good food and
It
stuff.
will be good in Center Market,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
for
Yes.
sure.
So
Been there,
first
done
Friday,
that. Yeah, first Friday.
Yep. So we'll have, I think a lot of the business are extending hours.
They are, most of
Eli,
them.
Lola's coming down to see some of her favorite groups.
yeah, Eli and the Mojo Kings will be down
Yeah.
there performing from 8 to 11. So we're looking forward to it. I want to say Relay for Life might be doing their event.
Oh, they
down
are
there
this Friday, too.
So a lot going on, definitely so. I have some wines open until about 8 o'clock. So
That's Saturday?
that's
It
Friday.
is.
Friday, okay. What's Saturday? Anything special on Saturday? And
Chili
Sunday?
cook-off.
Oh, the chili cook-off too. Oh,
Yep.
boy.
Chili cook-off. Then finishing Sunday, Center Market Sunday this Sunday too.
And you won't be there, right, Jen?
We won't be, but we
Now,
will
if-
remain open Friday evening, though.
What's the hours?
For Friday,
Yeah.
we'll be there till 10 o'clock or so,
How
probably.
about you, Corey?
Yeah, I'll be open until at least 8 o'clock that night.
Okay, all right. Hopefully the weatherman or weatherwoman will,
I hope so.
meteorologist, how about that? Will, be, not saying those bad words, rain in the forecast.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
The
it's looking
forecast
good
looks
so far.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
does.
Starting to get hot again, though.
Yeah, it's nice when it's hot, isn't it?
It's beautiful today.
By the way, did you get
Today's a
AC
good-
yet?
Yes, it was kicked on this morning. It was a very emotional morning for me this morning.
Wow. Very,
Just happy tears. It was wonderful.
yeah, I can see that with you, because you look very tired
It was a
and
long
frustrated.
5 weeks. I mean,
Oh,
the
man.
heat, it just brings you down, and
Well,
you
the whole
worry
place
about your
now is cool,
merchandise.
right?
And yes,
Yeah.
it's getting there. I mean, it'll be a day before it's really caught up, but
You have air in your store, don't you?
finally.
I do have air. We got to keep that wine at a nice steady temperature.
You have to keep the cigars at a steady temperature?
Yeah, I need to keep them between
How long is your good,
65 to
any
70.
cigar, how long do they last before they get stale or whatever?
I mean, as long as you keep them in that humidor, they should stay good for a long time. I mean, I can't put a specific time on them, but no, as long as it's that constant humidity and constant temperature, those things should hold up well, very well.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good. So what's coming up that we could talk about that's special? Lazy days, dog days of August, that's what they say in baseball, because it's so hot and muggy and people getting ready. People are starting to buy school
It's
clothes.
August, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
school supplies and,
Labor Day's only about a month away.
Yeah, that's coming up.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, most of the schools supply, you know, their lunch menus or whatever for the children, but,
Yeah.
I mean, we have all the bags of chips and the snacks and things that they need, and
Oh, yeah,
lunch
that's-
meat and cheese if they pack a lunch. I mean, some children still do.
Yeah.
Parents, maybe, but
I packed crackers with peanut butter on it, you know. And then for some reason, my aunt and uncle said, you should eat a lot of carrots. And I would say, what, I look like a rabbit? You know, I wasn't much of a carrot fan, but I liked pickles. And I'm going to make you guys sick. Give me a jar of pig's feet.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby. What kind of wine would you have with, that's your assignment. What kind of wine would you have with pig's feet?
well, it's pork. I mean, just think of it that way.
Pork, yeah.
But it's
Put it that
pickled.
way, I'm
Oof.
not going to pair anything up with pig's
Yeah.
feet now.
What do you have with oysters? I like oysters.
Oyster, Sauvignon Blanc, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, you do some New Zealand Sauv Blanc. To be honest, Sauv Blanc would probably be good with your,
Yeah.
your
You sell
pickled
that?
pig's feet, too.
You sell that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I sell lots of Sauv Blanc. That's kind of been the big trendy white over the past couple of years. Right?
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. So I have what for my dinner? Greek salad,
You have a Greek salad and a fruit bowl
a fruit bowl,
with our homemade fruit dip.
lots of feta cheese.
Yes, there's lots of feta cheese.
You know I
in it.
like that feta cheese.
Yep.
I
And the
spent a-
sassine salad dressing, that's pretty popular around here.
Yeah.
I don't have any for sale, but I'm able to serve some with your salad right now.
Oh,
The
okay.
production's been difficult for them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even with us, really, the paper goods, the plastic goods.
Well,
It's
were you
been
here last week
difficult
when I
getting
talked
some
about
of
two
those.
venues I went to, and neither one had plastic straws?
Yes.
Because why is there a shortage on straws?
Who knows?
Are we getting them from Moscow?
The production lines aren't there, people aren't working. I mean, they're just,
Yeah.
the demand's there, but the
Nobody
production
wants to-
lines
yeah.
just can't keep up.
I know my guy ordered lumber from my porch, and he had to put it on hold because it was shipped in, and they couldn't get trucks or something, you know? Things that we took for granted, can't take for granted now, because nobody really wants to work.
Right.
What's going to happen if the government wants to give everybody $1,200 a month or something? You know?
Who knows?
It's crazy. I'd rather work. Well, if you give me $1,200 a month, maybe I don't want to work. It's just everywhere I go, we're short-staffed. The time I spent in the hospital, we're short-staffed, Mr. DeFabio.
Right.
We'll get to you, we're short-staffed. I don't want to hear that. If you're in the hospital, you don't want to hear that, but whatever. You know, I went to 2 7-Elevens today. The one in Washington, I'm 8th in line. I just said, to hell with this. I put my coffee back. I'm going to go down to Wheeling to 7-Eleven because I get points. I'm in line there. And they didn't have any coffee. I had to wait for them to make coffee. Why? Because I guess the third of the month, people getting their checks. Is that what it is, Lola? People getting, well, she's eating, heck with her. People are getting their checks. And so I had to wait down there. It's like I spent an hour or so at 2 7-Elevens in 2 different towns. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy anymore.
Not anymore.
Boy, is this good.
I noticed that a lot of people have more patience, though. I mean, they understand that you're short-staffed and
Yes,
you're
yeah.
working harder than you normally do. They are definitely more
Especially in the
patient.
food
and
industry, I think
That's
they're really starting to show
appreciated.
And I'm seeing more
Absolutely.
managers in these places doing the work.
And that-
instead
you
of
got to.
managing, you know?
Absolutely.
Instead of doing schedules, or they're cleaning, they're
Right.
working with the employees because, you know, everywhere you go, there's a sign. You
Help
know?
wanted.
Yeah, help wanted.
Mhm.
And I go by, every time I go to the Highlands, which is almost every day, I see that one, West Virginia State Police hiring. You know, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Are you hiring, Corey?
I'm not hiring at the time,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I could use a few more hours of work, but what? No, I don't need another job. I don't need it. But hopefully things will get better. But I try not to watch the news, but I just hope we don't have a second round of this stuff going around. But that's a bad start with masks.
It is.
Because, you know, if one state does it, another state will say, well, look what they're doing there. Look what New York's doing. Yeah, how about Louisiana? You know, they're having all kinds of problems down there with this new, whatever it is, COVID. I have no idea. No idea. But thanks. This wine would go good with the Greek salad,
It
wouldn't
would, yes.
Maybe this won't make it to Lola's house tonight. Yeah.
I mean, you definitely want a rich cheese with that, something
Rich cheese.
salty,
You know, I got to stay away from
like
salt.
a good Asiago or,
Oh, yeah.
you know, the feta cheese on that salad
Oh,
would
I
be
love
delicious.
that. I love that. I had a Greek salad at the Greek festival and a gyro, you know.
Mhm.
I'm sure my sugars went way up because I had a couple of those nice fancy cookies, you know. Oh, boy. But that was a good time, and I understand they did well. The Friday was the best they ever
Oh, I
had.
believe it.
Okay, there were tons of people walking up 23rd and 22nd.
And
that's
they were
the day
not-
it rained, too,
Yeah.
wasn't it, in the
Saturday,
afternoon?
yeah,
So
yeah. And they're not short-staffed because they have like 50,000 kids working. It's great. You know, they're very pleasant. They work hard because I'm there watching them. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed both festivals. So, and I should enjoy Fridays, but I got a Wild Things game to do. So
Yeah, you definitely have to make it down for one of the
yeah,
concerts.
there'll be
though.
other. Yeah, there'll be lots of things to do. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So what do we have? About 8 minutes, Janet. Tell me why I should go to Valley Cheese.
Well, for the cheese, of course. I don't really have anything new in, but there's just so many options. I have the low-fat versions, the low sodium, even turkey breast that's low sodium.
So I can get
People
a bottle
are
of
still
low fat,
watching their weight.
low fat and low sodium. all at
Turkey
the same
breast you
bar?
can, and
Is
some
that
different
right?
cheeses, farmer's cheese, Lacey Swiss, and a Lucerne Swiss too.
What
I mean,
kind was
people
that
are-
last Swiss?
Lucerne.
Oh, okay.
It's more of a creamy, like a baby Swiss, sort of.
Oh, okay. Have I ever tried that? I've tried
I
almost
don't
everything.
know that I've brought that one, no.
Yeah.
We'll have a Swiss day.
You know, I'm Catholic.
Sunday.
You still have holy cheese?
I do.
The Swiss cheese?
The Holy Swiss,
Does that
yes.
come in varieties?
There is a smoked one, but the smoked one doesn't have holes in it. I mean,
No.
if you want the holes, you just have to get the big eye Swiss.
Well, it doesn't matter.
The
I just
regular
like
Amish
cheese, yeah.
Walnut Creek Swiss sliced.
The Amish, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, we slice all the lunch meats and cheeses for your sandwiches, you know.
Yeah. Fresh, too, huh?
And we have fresh loaves of bread and all
Where do you get the bread?
condiments that you could possibly think of.
Where do you get the bread?
Mancini's.
Pittsburgh, right?
Mancini's, McKee's Rock, yes, it's awesome.
Yeah,
People
that's,
love it.
I don't want to give him credit. Well, I will give him, because my buddy owns a place, although he doesn't give me a discount. Angelo's, okay? They get same place as you.
The Mancini's
Oh,
bread?
yeah.
Mhm.
There is a difference.
I believe Figueretti's locally does too.
Okay,
The
yeah.
Mancini's.
Yeah.
And
sure
Market
Market
Vines
Vines, yeah. Market
does,
Vines,
yes.
yeah.
The new Market, Upper Market restaurant, they get their sandwich buns
Yeah.
and things from there too, so. They're
Mancini's
popular
in the
around
Strip
here.
District, isn't it?
A good bread makes a whole sandwich
Oh, yeah.
better.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Corey, we talked about cigars. I didn't realize if you kept it in a cool place, it can last for a long time.
Yeah, it's like say
Yeah.
you that's pretty much.
How
what
about
the
a year?
indoors
Would they
for.
last a year?
Oh, absolutely. I don't see why not. Like I say, you
Okay.
just got to keep it that steady humidity, that constant temperature too, and it'll age long, just like a good wine, as long as it's in that steady environment for.
Probably
for
as I
long
get
term.
older, I'm going to be sitting on the porch doing the porch tour.
Yeah.
Having a glass of wine with a big old cigar,
There
not
you
lit
go.
up. Neighbors will go by. Boy, that DeFabio must be doing pretty good. Look at him there, relaxing with the big old cigar in his mouth. Yeah.
Say, I've got a few customers who just buy them just to chew on them. They don't smoke
Yeah.
them; they just chew on them and
Yeah.
get the little tobacco buzz there.
Yeah. There's a place in Donaldson's Crossroads. It's huge. It's maybe 10 times bigger than your place.
Okay.
A lot of the Steelers go there just to relax.
Yeah.
And have a cigar, you
Nice,
know?
nice.
Your place, well, you can't have a cigar in a store.
No, you can't.
Can you put a bench out in front of your place and have people sit there? Or that would crowd out
I
the
could,
sidewalk,
but
wouldn't it?
again, legally, they're not allowed to smoke within, what did we say last
I think
week?
it's 20 feet.
20 feet within the doorway.
Put 'em
so
on
I
the
couldn't
street.
do that, but-
Around the corner, put the
Put a
bench.
chair right in the
Yeah,
middle
around
of
the
a
corner.
smoking chair.
Yeah, I've seen employees around that corner because I parked. I think I saw you there once. Remember?
No, I don't
You didn't
know.
recognize me in the old police car.
Oh, is that what you're
Yeah.
driving?
You were getting some fresh air.
Yes.
Yeah, fresh air. Yeah. Okay. All right. Center Market, though. I got. I think is it next week or 2 weeks? A friend of mine has relatives in Bel Air,
Okay.
and they're going to stop at Center Market on a Friday.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know if they're staying over because they could drop by on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You know. But that's really good. You got to have started those wine tastings again.
Yeah, well, for this
You know how
Friday-
eager Lola and I are eager to help you, and you don't have to pay us.
We'll have to, like I said, well, I know you guys don't want to work on a Sunday, but I think a Sunday would be a fun day to come down for one of those Center Market Sundays.
Yeah, but
too.
Sunday's NFL day.
At your hike. Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's coming
It
up
is.
soon.
Mhm.
That's what,
Oh, yeah,
a month and a half
Thursday.
away.
Hall of Fame game.
Thursday, they're playing, exhibition game, Canton, a Hall of Fame game, Dallas and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, football's right around it. Oh, all sports. Penguins go to practice real soon. The NBA is going to practice. Didn't we just have the NBA finals?
We did.
We just had Stanley Cup. They're ready to go back, and everything is normal for the time being. Boy, I don't want that to change. I can't imagine ballparks and hockey rinks playing to a bunch of empty seats.
Yeah.
With coverings that have sponsorship on it, signage, whatever. All right. Lola, any questions for our guests concerning cheese or anything? Did Lola get the same thing?
She did.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, I did. Two things. We're grilling at my nephew's again Sunday. So I want to make, to the people who want hamburgers, what is the best cheese to put in the middle?
Ooh, on the inside.
Yeah.
I'd try a couple of the cheese curds. I honestly think it would be easy to patty the hamburgers around those. And then when you bite into it, it'd be kind of like a stringy, ooey gooey cheese, and it wouldn't really melt on the inside of it. I mean, any of the smoked cheeses, they would hold up well. A lot of people use those in their like deer summer sausages and things too, because they're smoking them for a long period of time, and it holds up well. Mozzarella, provolone, pretty much any of them.
Havarti melt? Does Havarti melt?
Havarti is so soft of a cheese. I think it would be more,
Almost leak through the
yeah, like oily, sort of. I think it would just sort of disappear. You want something to last inside your burger.
I was talking to DJ yesterday because, we were talking about hamburgers stuffed with cheese. And I told him, you got to be careful that you get enough hamburger around it, or, it's just going to ooze out and screw up your grill, basically. So, all right. Well,
Yeah, there's many options.
I'm going to come down on Friday, and, the cheese curds are good because they come in that vacuum sealed package,
Yes.
right? So, you can use some of them and then put the rest
Right.
They're so
away.
rich in flavor, too. I love cheese
They're
curds.
so good.
They are.
I know, I love those.
Yeah, I'm going to need those special crackers that I can't find anyplace.
The
but-
Ventas.
Yeah.
I have some.
You have a lot of them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should buy 2 boxes.
Maybe.
Yeah. I put a little bit of Philadelphia cream cheese on them. It's the light Philadelphia cream cheese. I never knew that until a few years ago. They have a light Philadelphia cream cheese, and I can't taste the difference.
It's not bad. When you get into the fat-free, that's when you can tell
Oh, you can?
if the cheeses are,
Yeah.
they don't seem like real cheese to
And
me.
once in a while, I'll take like a Triscuit, put a little bit of cream cheese on it, and I still have a couple jars, I think, strawberry, natural, and grape jelly. I think I'm running out of grape jelly from your place, so. It's all natural, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. And the price is right.
it is.
But even if it was expensive, I know where the money's going.
It's a good jelly,
Yeah, it is.
and the all-natural part helps.
I'm so glad-
Natural sugars and not that.
I'm so glad
fructose.
AC is back, because you really look beat up.
I know,
coming in
I
here.
was. I totally was.
You look like you were
It's like
running
celebration
a
time.
25-mile race or something,
Right.
Uh-huh. Did you remember her? Yeah. She come in here, you all right? Somebody beat you up?
Oh, it's just too hot.
Yeah, I walked over there before I came in, though, and it did. It felt
All right.
hot.
Once again, folks,
Great.
go get it while it's on the shelf. It's good. It's good with everything. We're going to try it with chili coming up next, all right? Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Corey. Talk to you soon. Spend some money soon in beautiful Center Market.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The report's wrong. That's not who I am. Denying again the allegations, not talking about resigning, not apologizing. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo in the past hour, not long after the state attorney general releasing a report of a 4-month independent investigation finding that he sexually harassed several women, breaking federal and state laws.
I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am.
ABC News political director Rick Klein.
Incident by incident, all of these allegations is an absolute bombshell. I've never really read something like it against a sitting governor. And to my mind, it's hard to see how Governor Cuomo persists with any kind of a political future based on the black and white of this report.
While there is no mask mandate in America's biggest city, instead, this action announced today.
Starting later this month here in New York City, working out at a gym, eating inside at a restaurant, going to a movie or play will require proof of vaccination.
Full enforcement and inspection begins the week of September 13th, which is very pertinent because that's the first full week after Labor Day when we really expect a lot more activity in this city.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is calling this the key to NYC Pass, and there's no option to show proof of a negative test. Everything, the mayor said, is geared toward increasing vaccinations. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Gunshots fired this morning near the entrance of the Pentagon on a Metro bus platform, leading to a lockdown. Several injuries reported by the Arlington County Fire Department. A workplace shooting in Antioch, Tennessee leaves 3 Smile Direct Club employees injured, one critically. Police spokesperson Don Aaron.
A day shift employee walked in just before 6 during shift change. The overnight shift people leaving, the day shift people coming in, and for whatever reason, the man opened fire.
You're listening to ABC News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Another medal for the most decorated gymnast in U.S. history.
Anyone who wasn't watching Simone Biles before now was studying every second of her balance beam routine. That added pressure might have had an impact. Biles' performance was nearly perfect, but those of 2 Chinese competitors were better. Chen Guan wins gold in the final women's gymnastics event of these games. Ji Jingtang takes silver. Biles wins bronze, the 7th Olympic medal of her career.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Tokyo. Frustration not limited to Florida's Fort Lauderdale Airport, where ABC's Victor Akendo sees
a travel nightmare for thousands of Spirit Airlines passengers over the last 2 days. Many stranded, others have been rerouted. The airline canceling more than 313 flights due to weather and operational challenges, including staffing shortages, IT issues, and crews maxing out hours they're allowed to fly. In a statement to ABC News, Spirit saying we needed to make proactive cancellations to some flights across the network, but the majority of flights are still scheduled as planned.
A Belarusian activist who ran a group in Ukraine helping Belarusians fleeing persecution was found dead in the Ukrainian capital Kiev, say police there. It may be the dog days of August, but experts say you may want to start your Christmas shopping. Toy companies facing global shipping bottlenecks and supply chain disruptions. They're scrambling to get products from China to the U.S. in time for the holidays. This is ABC News.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24, touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is ONN. The CDC says 18 counties in Ohio are experiencing high community spread of the coronavirus. Monica Robbins with affiliate station WKYC-TV in Cleveland has more.
I spoke with Mark Adams, the Deputy Health Commissioner for Lorain County, who told me hospitalization rates are still pretty low. That said, 99% of those getting hospitalized are unvaccinated. So that's who's most at risk.
Vaccinated person to transmit to another vaccinated person, the chances would be winning the lottery, you'd have a better shot at that, or even getting struck by lightning. But the unvaccinated person places themselves at risk. And while they have the chance to do that, if that's what they want to do, it's just not smart.
I'm Monica Robbins.
And a pair of special congressional primaries in Ohio could tell the temperature of Republicans and Democrats heading into next year's midterm elections. ONN's Dave James explains.
After his endorsed Texas congressional candidate lost last week, former President Donald Trump's sway as a Republican kingmaker is being tested today in Central Ohio's 15th congressional district. He's endorsed coal lobbyist Mike Carey, while ex-Congressman Steve Stivers has endorsed State Representative Jeff Lair. Meanwhile, in the Cleveland area 11th Congressional District, former State Senator Nina Turner, a national voice for Bernie Sanders, and centrist Cuyahoga County Councilwoman Chantel Brown are battling for position in the crowded Democratic primary. Dave James, ONN News.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local talk is just around the corner. Stay right here on The Watchdog.
First Fridays are returning to Center Market in Wheeling this August 6th. Join us for the street party featuring Eli and the Mojo Kings performing at 8 p.m. Before the show, you can visit Center Market specialty shops and have dinner at one of our quality eateries. Meet, shop, eat, and then party with Eli and the Mojo Kings on First Friday, August 6th at the iconic Center Market in Wheeling. Sponsored by Main Street Bank, Wheeling Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the City of Wheeling.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerform.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
The annual Wheelin' Feelin' Chili Cook-Off is right around the corner. Join us August 7th from noon to 6 for the Ohio Valley's best chili. Stop on down at Wheeling's Heritage Port to enjoy great food, an antique car show, and live music featuring the New Age Adinas and Eli and the Mojo Kings. The Wheeling Feeling Chili Cook-Off is an International Chili Society sanctioned event, and all proceeds benefit the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. Saturday, August 7th at Wheeling's Heritage Port from noon to 6, rain or shine. See you there.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday, partly sunny skies with a chance of a shower or storm through the afternoon, a daytime high of 82. Partly cloudy overnight, 63 for the low, a mix of clouds and sunshine for your Wednesday with temperatures in the lower 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Was so much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young. When I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 10, and for girls I had a bad yen, and I had quite a ball when I was young. When I was young, it was more important 14. She was brown and I was pretty green, and I learned quite a lot when I was young.
Yeah, when I was young, I helped my uncle make wine. Yeah, we squished grapes together. We would have some of that wine, maybe once a month, with homemade chili made by my great aunt who I lived with. And it was good. It was real good. And she didn't make it very hot. It was like sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But with glass of wine, homemade wine, you didn't care after a couple glasses, you know? Yeah, but I remember that, those good old days. And years later, I felt bad when, you know, everybody passed away, that we still had the grinder, we had all this stuff to make wines, and I think I gave it to somebody, I don't know, a neighbor, hoping they would make wine. I think they sold it, but that's okay. Great memories. And working in a store at Christmas time, if you came into the store, you always left with a bottle, a jug, one of those mason jars filled with wine. It's like a Christmas gift. Couldn't do that today, because what if somebody has a wreck or something? You have a couple glasses of wine with Bill and Tony, Uncle Tony, and then you go out on the highway getting a wreck. 15,000 lawyers would be suing you. So the good old days when we could do a lot of things. We've had a lot of great special guests. This one's very local. Rose Warmer. She's real warm when it comes to giving in the heart. You like that intro? You like that?
Yeah.
I saw you on TV. Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, oh, sure, Bill, sure.
Was that yesterday I saw you on the news?
It might have been. They might have been running it,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, it's good promotion because this is one of the better events here. Thankfully, we got people coming back. The weather's supposed to be nice. It's the Wheeling Feeling Chili Cook-Off. And in case you've forgotten, maybe you're old like me and you forget things, August 7th, which is Saturday, Wheeling's Heritage Port Amphitheater, noon to 6 p.m. I like these words, rain or shine. Big cash prizes, great music, unbelievable competition, and of course, beautiful scenery. You can even see Lola's house.
Yeah.
Right, Lola? Can you see your house? Yeah.
If you get situated just right, you can see part of it.
Yeah. So how many, first of all, let's go back a little bit.
Sure.
I know I've had you on a couple of times, but I forgot what I asked you, and I forgot when you were on. When did all this start, and is this like Chili Cook-Off 8, 9, 10?
We're right at our 20-year mark. It would have been
20
20 last year, so it's 20 this year.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the 20th. Actually, we were the first event that staged a festival event down at the waterfront.
Wow.
Was ours. My husband, Brian Wormuth, he's our head chili, our head judge, but he's been cooking chili for probably almost 35 years. So we were down together in Charleston, and they were having their chili cook-off on the waterfront. And we both said, our waterfront is so beautiful.
We got to do it too.
Wheeling, and
Copycat.
yeah, well, exactly. We
But
said,
you got a great
"Come on,
idea."
we have to do it. So we actually approached the city. We had the founders of the West Virginia and the Huntington, the state cook-offs. They came up and they talked with the city manager. At that time was Will Terraney and some other members of council and things. And basically, we said, this really is about a driver for development for the community. Let people know how wonderful the city is, and the events that like we have a pre-cooks party. People come to the area. I mean, we have people this year that are coming from Florida and all across the eastern coast. A couple from Canada couldn't come in because of COVID still, and they sent their regrets. But we have people that come in from all over, and they leave with information about the valley. We always give them the tourism information. Some have even stayed longer or then come back and say, well, I want to check out Ogilvy Park. After the cook-off, they go over to the gaming center. Before the cook-off and after, they go to the local restaurants. So it's a lot about development, and everything that we purchase for the trophies and the T-shirts and anything that we give to the cooks is all local also. So that's another thing. It's, it benefits our businesses in Ohio Valley as far as the expenses. But the profits that we make, every single penny that's made down at the waterfront, it's a free event, but you buy taster tickets to taste the chili. But those pennies make dollars, and they go to the Upper Ohio Valley United Way.
Okay.
Every single penny.
Every penny stays local.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So, yeah.
Because, some of those great corporate charities, 60% goes to workers, or 10% goes to the CEO.
Right.
I
right.
always question where my money goes.
Right, well, that's smart. This time, your money directly goes in the pocket of the Upper Ohio Valley United Way and is dispersed to the many of the charities and that they support. So they person, and I know it's a big event for them. We've broken above $10,000 for the one-day event. Wow. I mean, it's a one-day event, so we are hoping that we...
Is that after your bills are paid and everything?
Yep. It's
That's a nice profit for 6 hours.
Yep, $10,000 check is what we've been giving, or a little bit over that for the past few years. So that's our goal, is to hit 10,000 or more, and we're really hoping this year is a little later. We always do it the first Saturday in June, but because of the COVID regs and things, we weren't sure what to do.
Isn't August better than June?
Well,
I know it's going to be a little bit, usually they call it dog days of summer.
Yeah.
But in June, you always have the chance of rain.
Yeah, but, we like getting out there first, and we like that, the first festival, and some people even say, why don't you have it in the fall? And the reason is the winner from our cook-off, and the winner from this, because it is a International Chili Society, which is a national, worldwide.
Yeah, I see that here in the logo.
Yeah.
International Chili Society. I was going to ask you about
right.
that. You must be reading my brain.
Yeah.
ICB,
right,
ICS.
Yes, yeah. And that society, that is, again, it's international, but those cook-offs are sanctioned. And so the winners of an ICS cook-off, they go to the World Cook-Off, and it's always in the fall. So this year, it's in Myrtle Beach at the end of September. So the winners in all of our categories, the ICS categories, they will qualify to represent the the city of Wheeling, West Virginia, at the World Cook-Off. So if you go to the World Cook-Off, you'll see Wheeling, West Virginia, Wheeling Feeling Chili Cook-Off winners that will be cooking to win a $25,000 prize and more.
Every once in a while, maybe I'll do it Thursday and Friday. They're a couple years old. I have a Wheeling Cook-Off shirt.
Oh, well.
That's a great T-shirt you put out.
I'm telling you, actually, I was hoping that we're actually getting them later today, and I'll bring one down for you and Lola.
Okay.
They're getting delivered, and again,
Those are for sale too, right?
They are for sale, and again, every penny that's made from those T-shirt sales, they go to the United Way.
Now, what about alcohol? We have alcohol there?
We do have adult refreshments. We have the Budweiser products.
Better bring a lot when Lola comes down.
Well, we'll have plenty.
Okay.
We'll have plenty. And we have, the United Way sells water and sodas.
Okay.
And our friends at Karen Bowers help us out with the
They're
with the
good people.
Budweiser.
They're really
Absolutely, absolutely. Carl and his team, they're all good people. And they've helped us out every single year. So they come down, bring their wares, and we're very thankful for it. We try to sell our beers reasonable, $3, so that nobody's breaking the bank.
Yeah.
And you do get tickets, like I was saying. The way it works in the cook-off is we have those ICS, the individual cooks that are cooking, and we have restaurants in the area. God love them. They've stepped up, making us chili, and we'll be serving it. Either the restaurants themselves will be serving, or folks at the United Way will be serving the chili from our various restaurants. About 12 of them within the Ohio Valley are donating chili. And so what you do is you will find that there are people that are walking around the event, and there is various tables from the United Way, and you get 2 tickets for $1, and you go around and you can spend those tickets on soda pop or water, and most importantly, chili. So you go up to the booth and you say, hey, can I try your chili? And they say, sure.
Does it come in containers like this?
And it comes in a cup like that. Now,
so what's $5 get me?
Well, toward the end of it, what we tell people is so everybody has a taste. But toward the end, hopefully, if you have some left, or if you're making big batches, we have some larger styrofoam cups, and we say things like, if you've got, say, at least get 10 tickets for a big cup.
Wow, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, so we...
And there's no admission, right?
No admission. It's absolutely, if you don't want to buy a thing, and we'd hope that you'd at least, purchase a few tickets, but if you can, or you don't feel like buying anything, you know what? It's going to be a beautiful day at the waterfront. Come on down. You can sit there. We're going to have 2 great bands. I know we've gotten some play on the Watchdog Network and others. Eli and the Mojo Kings, fantastic. Brass section, 8-member band. they'll be playing first, and I think they're gonna take off around 1:30ish, 1:30, something like maybe 12:31. It's open to the public at noon, so it's up to them. They'll probably be playing by around 1 o'clock or so. So they'll play first, have a small break, and then the New Age Adinas are coming on. So
Seen
they're
them.
both
Seen both of them, yeah.
And again, I mean, they're Valley folks, they're Valley people, and our sound we use from the West Banco Arena. So again, everything's totally local, totally local.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like in the morning when we get there around 6 o'clock to set up with our guys from our operations division in the city of Wheeling, and they've been assisted by the guys at the West Banco Arena, so their hands help. But at 6 o'clock, there's nothing there, and it's like backstage Disney. All of a sudden, 50 tents pop up, and and each person gets 2 tables and 2 chairs, and it's kind of like clockwork. But it's all ready for the cooks to come on premises at 8 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the place I worked once in a while when we used to have a lot of people. River City.
Mm-hmm.
They might be working on their chili today. I don't know.
They might be, sure, because you can make your chili ahead of time,
Yeah.
and they've got their coolers and
I'm going to go
things.
down there now. Not
Yeah.
right now, but at 3 o'clock. and just
Yeah,
see
there
it.
you go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. They've always been a good sponsor.
I forgot the girl's name. Runs Ruttenbucks.
Yes, Ruttenbucks is in
Is
too.
it Debbie?
Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah.
Leslie.
She's always active.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a couple of times she won because she has plaques or something behind her bar.
Oh, they may well have. I'm telling you, they've entered for several years. I don't want to miss anybody, but
You can mention anybody
But
you
yeah,
want.
but like Wild West,
Wild
formerly
West,
the
yeah.
Alpha. Charlie's always been
Yep.
wonderful. They'll be sending some chili. Generations is
Yep.
sending some chili, and actually it's going to be served by the guys with the nailers. So they're going to serve the chili. Some of the nailers team.
That means DJ Abicello will be there.
I don't know, or some of his team, some from his team will definitely be there.
Well, yeah, one for you, one for me. They're hockey players that don't make a lot of money. They're going to eat chili too.
Well, this is good. This is
it's
good.
it's real good.
Yeah.
And they get out in the community. I will
Yeah,
say that.
absolutely. I mean, Ogilvy Resort, we've got some new folks. Eden's, we're going to welcome Eden's
What's
restaurant. Eden's is a place over on the island.
Is it a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a newer-
Lola?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
We
newer-
eat there at least every other
Where
day.
is it?
Oh.
What's
on
it
the
near?
island.
Is it near the racetrack?
No.
Okay.
No, it's on the, it's if you go off of Virginia, you go all the way through to the
Yeah.
end and things. And it's been a
West,
restaurant,
yeah.
restaurant and bar facility for several
Eden's,
years, but it's
okay.
Eden's. And that's run by a really nice group of people. They've been
Yeah.
very supportive.
Is it
of
near
people in the High
Abby's?
Valley.
Kind
A
of
few
down
blocks
the
away, yeah.
street.
Okay, I'll find it.
Right.
They have a good dinner menu?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
they have a good menu all around.
What's one of your favorites there, Lola? So I might go
I
there
usually
tomorrow,
get the,
Wednesday, Thursday.
cheesy chuck steak sandwich.
Cheesy steak.
Or they have
Boy,
these
oh boy, that's-
wonderful breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah. You mentioned Abby's. They couldn't participate in full this year, but they were kind enough to send a gift certificate for a winner, and we're going to give that to a cook who is from Wheeling. We give a Best of Wheeling award. So if you're a cook from Wheeling, we figure out which cook made it the farthest and cashed up a lot of points. So since it's a local gift certificate, which will be nice, and it's for a local winner, so we're planning on giving that as a prize for that
That's nice,
person.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've eaten at Abby's too. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And I mean, just, and Salsa Joe's is another new one this year, but the new restaurant. So
Where are
they've
they?
really stepped up the
Sausage Joe's.
Salsa
Joe's, okay,
So
where's that?
I'm looking forward to tasting their chili. They're out in the old, it was the old
Undo's.
Undo's out
Undo's.
in Elm Grove.
Okay.
Right behind where the pizza shop is and everything. So
Okay.
out in that area. And, and Quaker Steak and Lube.
Yeah.
Ogilvy Park is there, going to donate chili. So I hate to miss anybody, like you said, River City, but we feel that we're going to have a real nice component of restaurants. And
it's competitive.
And it is competitive. What we do with them is they serve a lot of chili. So they make 10 plus gallons at least. Oh, and the public market is new. They
okay.
jumped in as well. So they make big vats of chili. So they hand out their chili the same way, but then they turn their chili in cups, and it's also blind judging. So we at the bottom of their cups, so nobody sees that, they're just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 12. And at the bottom of their cups, they have their name. And then we have judges that judge those chilies as well. And that's the commercial restaurant division is what Howard Monroe always judges for us. He's judged almost every year.
Whoa. Howard's a judge?
He's been a judge for almost as long as the cook-off. I think he's only missed maybe once or maybe twice. And he's a good judge. I look at his score sheet. He's a good taster.
I'm sure he's going to be a good taster.
I know that that's a shock to you, but he's a very good taster. He
I can
is.
see him there. Oh, I'll try a couple of spoons of that. Oh, that's real good. I think I'll do it. Yeah, and he'll be honest, you know.
Well, he is, and we ask everybody to be honest. We ask them to be kind with their comments, and I know Howard's talked about it before, but what we've said is, you know, it's constructive criticism for cooks and things. You know, these people, like I said, they've traveled a long time, or traveled around, traveled a while to get here. They spend money here. You know, they spent money preparing for the cook-off, and they take it very seriously. And so, you know what? If you can give them a criticism to say, this is really a bit too salty for me. You know, it might even be something the cook knows when they're tasting it, saying, man, my salt's up, or my heat's up, or I can't get it hot enough. Somebody might say, I'm missing the chili flavor. You know, or there's an odd taste in here that's throwing me off. I don't know what it is. Sometimes, because I've cooked chili and my husband for so many years, and salsa and things, sometimes they'll hit it on, and you'll say, yeah, I knew it was too salty. You know, or you know, it probably was, I probably made a mistake there at the end when I added a little bit too much cumin or something. Or the cumin didn't cook out. Sometimes things like this, your spices. So, you know, cooking a really good pot of red, Texas red, is an art. It's an art. And so we're gonna have people, when I say Texas red, that is one category for the International Chili Society cooks. The biggest difference with them and the restaurants is that, number one, they have to bring all their ingredients uncooked to the waterfront. They cook on site. So
right on site. They bring all the ingredients.
Right.
Why is that?
Well, that's part of
the rules. So they
rules.
don't cheat or whatever?
It's part of the rules, that's right.
Okay.
And it's also part of the rules to say, hey, you have it's a timed competition. So they have 4 hours to cook the pure Texas red, which is a no-bean chili. And similar to the chili that you were tasting, that has no beans in it. So that's a pure Texas, which is just basically meat, chili peppers, and spices. And most people use a tomato sauce. We've made chili before with absolutely no type of a tomato base. It's red because of the chili peppers. But basically it's just a no bean chili of red. So that's your big red. Why I call it the big red. The other is Chili Society, International Chili Society, is a green verde. It's a green chili. And a lot of people go, green chili? But green chili is very good. It's a southwestern chili. You see it a lot more often now than you did 10 years ago. But it's made with tomatillos, with the green tomatillos and green spices and green sauces, and usually a chicken and or pork or a combination. Yeah. Wow. So and then we have what we call homestyle category for ICS, and that is anything goes. People can make a white chili. We've had people make a vegetarian chili. You can make a regular red chili with beans in it or pasta. You can do anything goes on that. Again, though, you still just have to cook it at the waterfront.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I made chili a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
Well, I bought this little thing, Hormel. You take the lid off, put it in the microwave. Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, I'll laugh.
It's got
about
beans in it.
Yeah, I will laugh about it, but I always say, yeah, if some people get hungry for chili. I had a dear friend from Charleston one time, and he helped to publicize the cook-off down there, and they had a cook-off type thing at one of their nursing homes. And it was just, it was to benefit, because it was a hospice. Their money goes to hospice in Charleston. And so he went down to judge it, and we never let him live it down, because the one he picked was a guy that basically just reheated Hormel. Yep. His name was Archie Chestnut. He was a good
Archie
guy.
Chestnut. I like that.
Yep. And but we were like, hey, Hormel, Judge, how you doing, Hormel? Yeah. But you know, any chili is a good chili. Our cooks, also we call it people's choice. You know, the competition chilies will be ready, obviously, at different times of the day, because the turn-ins are different. We have cooks that are going to come in, and they're going to cook in every single one of these categories I've talked about: the red, the verde, the home style, and we also have salsa. Now, salsa, you can make ahead of time. That's something that we allow you to make ahead of time. And salsa, anything goes. People make everything from a bean salsa to a fruit and bean to a pico de gallo type salsa. The only thing that you can't do there is buy it out of a bottle and put it in a cup. So, that's the one rule with salsa.
And I do like chili dogs too, by the way.
Well, years ago, my husband Brian would always say, "Oh, what an abomination putting my chili on a hot dog." But we've come to love that chili dog.
Yeah.
I like chili dogs too. So that's why I always tell Brian when he whips up a batch, because he cooked the batch that you're having. I always look at it and go, that'd be good with some of those snappy hot dogs,
Yeah, then he don't talk to you for a week.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
You think you got to have a refill?
I can get you a refill.
All right. We're talking about the Wheeling Feeling. You got to be here Saturday, August 7th, noon to 6 o'clock. By the way, the winner goes to the World Cook-Off. Where's that going to be held?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
What a nice vacation.
September 17th through 19th.
One winner from here, right?
Well, in each of these categories.
Okay.
So we should have 4 winners going down, representing.
Okay, that's good stuff. Good stuff. We'll continue with good stuff right after this on the Good Stuff Station, the Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Today's figures from the DHHR reflect 267 new COVID cases in the past 24 hours in West Virginia. Active cases now stand at 2,585. There were 5 additional deaths in Kanawha, Wayne, Montague, and Berkeley County. 178 people are hospitalized. Today's figures from the DHHR show 107 cases of the Delta variant, but most health officials agree that number is probably much higher just because of the variant's prevalence in other states and its high degree of contagious spread. Dr. Sherry Young is the Chief Health Officer for Kanawha County.
I have no reason to believe it's anything except Delta. If it's 83% of the cases across the country, it is very likely a majority of the cases we're seeing here, even if the lab data doesn't show it at the time.
Health officials are encouraging anyone to get vaccinated, saying although it's possible to get the Delta variant even after a vaccination, the vaccine will make the impact much less severe or potentially fatal. At first, at Yeager Airport, when they received a call claiming a potential active shooter threat, Airport Director Nick Keller says it wound up being a false alarm, but they are investigating.
We just won't tolerate this kind of activity, this serious criminal offense, making threats like that, and we're definitely looking into it, investigating it.
Law enforcement was quickly on the scene. In Fayette County, a man recovering from a gunshot wound after an altercation this morning with a deputy happened when he fled a traffic stop in Fayetteville about 2:30 this morning. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Charleston City Council votes to ban what's known as conversion therapy in the city. The measure was introduced by Councilmember Caitlin Cook, who says West Virginia's neighboring states have already addressed this matter.
2 of those states, Maryland and Virginia, have statewide bans.
Conversion therapy, an attempt to change the gender identity or sexual orientation of an LGBTQ child. Opponents say it's been scientifically disproven and instead creates additional problems of anxiety, stress, and in many cases, suicide. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Big NBA free agency news yesterday. The Atlanta Hawks reached a 5-year, $207 million designated rookie maximum extension with star point guard Trae Young. Chris Paul is back with the Phoenix Suns as he signed a new 4-year contract. Major League Baseball, Yankees ace Garrett Cole has tested positive for COVID-19. He will miss his start that was scheduled for today. Manager Aaron Boone said as of now he's the only one. Earlier this month, star slugger Aaron Judge was among 6 Yankees players who tested positive for coronavirus. Colts quarterback Carson Wentz will miss 5 to 12 weeks after having surgery on an injured left foot. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finding your true love is one of life's great adventures. Let Christian Mingle guide you on this journey and join our growing community of practicing singles looking for the one. Life is full of surprises. The one God intends for you might be closer than you think, even at your church. Embrace the adventure that awaits you with Christian Mingle. Visit christianmingle.com/radio today. That's christianmingle.com/radio.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help. Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talkline. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, on all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
It's the 20th annual Wheeling Feeling, and you can get the Wheeling Feeling. Well, you get it 24/7, really. You know, there's so much to do now. Thank goodness. Hopefully that doesn't change again because of whatever with the COVID. But Saturday, August 7th, Wheeling Heritage Port Amphitheater. Remember, noon to 6, so you have a lot of time to taste all of the good stuff, and it's all good stuff. Rain or shine, there's big cash prizes, great music, great competition. And, of course, there's the beautiful scenery, river and everything, all right? Did I miss anything? Should I give it out a number here?
You know, they want to give me a shout at 304-234-3636. Leave your name and number if you want me to give you a call back if I'm not at my desk.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can chat a little chili if you feel like whipping up a batch. We always welcome folks. I'd rather know now than the morning of the event. We usually have a couple of spare tents, but you know, I mean, where can you go and sign up? And there's going to be, like I said, probably I'm thinking about 30, 35 people that are cooking individually, but you can go and whip up a batch of chili and maybe walk out of the place with $2,000 that day. I mean, it's better than the lottery odds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to get more of that Hormel and fix it all up.
And Dr.
Call it the junk chili. Put a lot of junk into it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
Junk sells.
But now
I have to cook it here.
Yeah, your cardinal rule is to cook it here. That's right. That's right. Now you could bring anything like that for people's choice. Like I was saying, the cooks that they're cooking, they're going to be really busy. It's a timed event. So they'll be cooking their chili to turn in. Once they usually turn in their competition pot, then they sell or to the people in the crowd from their competition pot. And when I say turn in, they turn in their judge's cup. But they also we've required them to bring at least 2 gallons of chili to give out to the crowd, and that's what we call People's Choice. And so we collect and see who collects the most number of tickets. Really, the more chili you make for the event, and this is what it's all about, and the more tickets you collect, which makes money for the United Way, for the charity, then that really is what goes into making the volume for the winner of People's Choice Award. So our restaurants do, and we give an award for People's Choice in the International Chili Society, the little individual cooks, because we know that they compete against each other. And then there's People's Choice within the restaurant division. And so the restaurants have 2 chances to win. They could win for People's Choice tickets for the amount that they've collected for their chili, for the People's Choice for the Ohio Valley, or they can win the first and second spot for the first place restaurant and commercial, and that's that blind tasting chili, blind taste tester type thing. And and it's pretty neat to, I know the people that have won, they'll put it on their menu. They'll say, hey, award-winning chili, and you'll see their trophies within their restaurants and things like that. So
I think River City has a couple plaques from a few years ago.
yeah, I'm sure
Chuck
they do.
makes he's the cook
I'm
there.
sure they do, because I remember their name being mentioned. Like we said, we've got 20 years back going. We do have, but it's a family fun event. It's a nice event. It's down. It is a beautiful venue. Hopefully, I know it's going to be a nice. I've checked of every weather station known to man.
Hopefully you don't see any clouds, because then you'll have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But I'm thinking we're going to have a very nice day. If it's a little bit of rain here and there, hey, we're cooking chili. You're not a bunch of sugar cubes. You'll be all right. It'll be fine.
Can people buy, say I want a pint of it to take home? Can you do that?
Yeah, and that's what I said. Usually what we encourage and we've told even the restaurants and stuff, is that the best thing would be is if you can wait until a little bit later to judge your crowd. But if somebody wants to, and they want like a large container, because we have large styrofoam cups also that we provided them. We just say is, be wise and just, get like 5 or get like 10 tickets for it. Because if you were filling that up with taster's cups, that's about what you would do. And again, because you whatever chili, whatever goes across your table, and you want to collect a ticket. And if it's a big container, you want to collect that, because again, the United Way. So yeah.
The chili you gave me.
Yes.
My lips are a little bit hot, which is okay. Spicy.
The hot lips,
what's
okay?
that? Yeah, I have hot lips. Haven't had hot lips in a while. Can't do anything with them, but.
Oh my God.
No, but it's a good feeling.
Well,
especially when I had it with that wine, Moscato, which goes with the chili.
Well,
so it was good timing on Corey and Janet bringing that wine.
Yeah.
And when I told them we have chili cook-off coming up, a Representative Rose, they said this wine will go good with it. And Lola, we saved a little bit.
I heard you a little bit on my way down, and I was thinking, yeah, that would go nicely with it. With anything, with the Verde also as well.
Now, will you have wines there by any chance?
We
or you're not allowed?
No, we don't. We
just
don't have
beer.
Wines. We just have beer. Yeah.
Beer and chili.
I think that Budweiser. I think Carl has thrown in before some different types of things.
Seltzer. I think they'll
yeah.
probably
maybe
have
some
seltzer.
and some things like that. So
Yeah.
he may throw some of that into.
That's
the
a good
mix.
teammate to have.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's my husband. It's his private blend. He and I worked on it, but mostly my husband, Brian. He's, like I said, he's our what we call the head chili. He's the head judge and the main guru at the event, as far as if there's a question of in ties, a question of the validity of the chili or the timing of when they get it to the booth, if it's too late. You have to bring it to the booth. You can't bring it a half an hour late. It may not get judged, et cetera. But he's the kind of the final word on things. But that chili is, we make our own spice mix for sale, and it's Big Bunny chili.
Yeah.
But it's, Brian and Rose's, but really Brian's. And we also do some hot sauces. But that spice mix, I initially, when he said maybe about 10 years ago that he wanted to make that our spice mix that we use in competition and sell it, I was like, but Brian, Other people will know our secrets. And he said, Rose, look around at a chili cook-off. Nobody makes no two people make chili alike.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's
all
right.
different. You can give people the same amount of spices, the same types of spices, and one will invariably be different from the other. And and that's true. That's true.
All right. I know you want to go.
Oh,
One last question.
Okay.
Will Howard sample every cup of chili there?
Howard, what our judges do is like
Because he needs to gain a couple of
well,
pounds.
like
you know.
like your table here is what we do. We sent the cups out, and I think if we have 12 chilies for a commercial, they will sample every single one. And the way they do that is we're going to be very well distanced this year, especially.
Yeah.
We're going to be very well distanced under the tent, and they're numbered 1 through 12 on the outside of the cup. And you take one spoon, you dip it, you taste it, and then you throw the spoon away. So it's no double dipping. And you just taste one spoonful, like the spoon that you had, and then you rate them, and you rate your top 3. And what we say is, you know what, mark what the few that you like, and then take a moment, clear your palate. We have, sodas. We prefer you to clear your palate with water, etc. And we have some tortillas and some sour cream, which, by the way, is a very good palate cleanser, especially for chili.
Yep, you're
And
right.
so we say cleanse your palate, and then go back and try those 3 again. Because then, after you've tried 12 and you think those 3 you like, wait a minute, then go back and try those again. So that's what our judges do. And, like I said, it's family fun. We also have an antique car show. So
I forgot about that.
We have an antique car show that parks right out on 11th Street.
Yeah.
And so we'll be down there. Again, it's open to the public this Saturday. This year we're different, folks. This Saturday, August 7th, God willing, we'll be back to the first Saturday in June next year, but that'll be a whole different chili chat, Bill.
And we're happy to contribute one of your customers, Lola.
Oh,
And the
perfect.
morning guy, Howard.
That's right.
He's going to fit perfect there. An antique with the antique cars. How about that? That's right, Howard. I meant that. Hey, thank you, Rose. I know you got to get
No,
going.
thank you, Bill.
Thank you for the samples.
Okay, thank you, and thank you very much, Watchdog, for having us. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody this Saturday, August 7th, Wheeling Waterfront. Chili
Okay.
is on.
All right, the Chili Cook-Off, 20th annual Chili Cook-Off. Good stuff, good people. Hopefully you'll have a good time. If you don't have a good time, that's your own darn fault. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7 to 10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather. Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10. The Watchdog Morning Show, right
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Welcome to the 54th National Tractor Pulling Championships Reloaded, the largest truck and tractor pull in the world with 11,000 reserved seats and 2,100 campsites. Watch pullers from across the world compete for the coveted NTPC Championship ring. Rich in history, home to hospitality. Experience the power of the pulls. August 19th, 20th, and 21st in Bowling Green, Ohio. Purchase your tickets today.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Went in behind a little birch tree its head. I reached down and got the bow positioned and found its horns and dropped down and shot it in the neck.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news,
It tracks real super well, but not with a 60-pound carp tied to the side.
or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
How close did you let him get in before you let fly on him?
He was about 18 yards, Chris. He got turned in the right angle there, and I touched off the trigger. And when I hit him, he ran kind of up the hill, which scared me at first.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all. Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m.
And for your daily fix,
1006. Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning. No one covers the great outdoors like Chris Lawrence. And Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
While we have a few minutes, let's check the oldies calendar. On the state in sports, I find this very interesting. 1987, I remember this. Of course, back then we didn't have replay like ESPN and all that like today, but I'm sure this would be on over and over and over again if it was today. After his ejection in the bottom of the 12th inning for arguing a close call at first base, Columbia Mets, that's a minor league team, manager Butch Hobson, a former Red Soxer, he yanks the base out of the ground, takes it to the clubhouse in protest. Hobson is convinced to return the stolen property to the field because the team has only one set of bases. That's right. Back then, that's it. Today, they sell those bases because they got lots of them. But not before he sprays paints it bright orange to make sure the bag is easier for the umpire to see. What a cool thing, Butch. Then I think later he got fired. You don't see this happening very often. The Pirates in 1961 on this date recorded a 19-0 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals for the largest shutout in a National League night game. And I think there was a day game in Chicago that beat that record. And how about this? This happens today because it happened with a Steeler named Robin Cole. It's happened to a lot of professional athletes. I think it's happened to me. Instead of the boss calling me, one of my colleagues called me and said, you got fired? I didn't know that. 1957, Bobby Bragan hears on the radio as he's driving home that he was fired as the Pittsburgh Pirates manager and replaced by Philadelphia third base coach Danny Murtaugh. Pittsburgh general manager Joe L. Brown leaked the news of the hiring before informing the manager who was about to get fired. He was already fired. Why would you do that, Joe? Come on. Bring the guy in and say, hey, thank you, but we got other plans. All right? Quote of the day. I thought it was interesting. That's why I put it in here. Quote of the day, I'm quoting Satchel Paige, Hall of Fame pitcher. Throw strikes, home plate doesn't move. That's pretty cool. On this date in 1962, Roses Are Red, #1 by Cannonsburg's Bobby Vinton. Peter Cetera, who left Chicago because of his ego and he wanted to make more money, solo, should have stayed with Chicago, had the #1 record in the country, Glory of Love, which was pretty good back in 1986. Lola, you're a Michigan gal. A Michigan star, currently a star in the NFL, celebrating a birthday today. Tom Brady. How old?
He's 44.
Did you know that?
Everybody knows how old Tom Brady is. That's all they do is talk about his age.
Yeah, I knew it was Henry Aaron's number 44. And he's saying he's feeling good. Well, he's not going to tell people he feels bad, but he thinks he can still play 3 or 4 more years. Maybe he just wants 10 Super Bowl rings. Now, Martha Stewart is celebrating her birthday today. You want to give me an idea how old she is?
75.
That's close. 79.
Oh, my God, that's not close.
Did you like Martin Sheen? Pretty good character actor?
Well, he was a good actor. I wouldn't consider him just a character actor.
Yeah. How many Sheens are there? 3?
Too many.
4? Whatever. Born in 1940. He's still alive, by the way. Here we go. Tony Benedetto. He shortened his name to Tony Bennett.
Yep, today's his birthday.
He's still alive.
Yep, he is.
How old?
95, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's cut a new album with Lady Gaga.
You're kidding.
No, and they're doing 2 shows at, and it's in New York, not the Garden, Radio City Music Hall, I think.
Wow.
Tonight and tomorrow night, or
That would be
Wednesday and
one
Thursday
interesting
night.
show.
They're sold out.
Yeah, I'd go, but I left my heart in San Francisco. Oh, I heard that a lot. That was one of my favorites with my aunt and uncle. All right, a nice sports note. I remember this. They used to call it the College All-Stars versus the World, the Super Bowl, or NFL champions. This was a huge upset. The 1963 College All-Stars upset the world champion Green Bay Packers, which upset me as little Billy, 21-17. The All-Stars were 50-1 underdogs. I have one, but it's not the original. 1933 on this date, Mickey Mouse watch was introduced. It sold for $2.75. Now, a Mickey Mouse clock sold for $1.50. The new models today average between $25 and $30. If you have an original watch or clock worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I got a Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 40s on regular 8, but I sold my projector, so if you have a projector and you call me, maybe we'll make a deal. Yeah, it's about 7 minutes long. Mickey on a riverboat or something. I don't know, but Mickey Mouse watch, yeah, I have one, but I bought it like 20 years ago for a couple of bucks. But an original, I still have my Mickey Mouse fan club. I only joined because I thought I would meet Annette Funicello. That didn't work, all right? And, of course, the cap I have doesn't fit my pumpkin head. But that's about it. Do I have some sports news? Oh, what am I watching tonight? Women's beach ball, volleyball. That's on NBC at 9 o'clock. Before that, men's basketball quarterfinals. If they win, they'll advance to the semifinals. I think now that these guys have had some time to play, they'll be okay. You don't get MLB, do you, Lola?
Yeah.
Your Lions are on tonight. I mean, your Tigers are on tonight.
On
No, that's Biff's Baltimore Orioles are on tonight. Go Baltimore. They beat New York last night. Tonight, Garrett Cole, the former Pirate, who may have the best fastball in baseball, won't be doing anything because he'll probably be in isolation, COVID-19. Same with Chad Kuhl of the Pirates, okay? Boy, it sounds like something's coming back. I don't know. When's the basketball? The men's basketball quarterfinals at 4:15 a.m. USA. That's USA Network. I didn't know they were doing Olympic coverage. We got CNBC. We got WPXI, which is Channel 11. We have ESPN. Wow. Then there's ESPN2 with some coverage. I remember, maybe you remember, Lola, 1980, The Miracle on Ice was on a tape delay. It wasn't live. It was on tape delay.
Well,
Today, yeah, how everything goes today. That's why I can't wait for the NBA. Today, NBA, what a rhythm. What a day. Eddie Johnson, super great with the Boston Bruins, super teacher, general manager, head coach of the Penguins. He's the one that basically found Mario Lemieux, or maybe Mario found him. And the surprise guest, also Mel Blunt, thank you. But that was scripted. I called him last night. He said, I'd like to do it today. I didn't think we would get Dick LeBeau until Thursday. He called me while I was on the air. He said, let's do it at 1. And he talked about Troy Polamalu.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.